It's Halloween. The forces of darkness are unleashed upon this world. But sometimes those forces don't get along. What happens when the nightmares that keep us up at night face off against one another? Tonight, the horror icons of cinema do battle in a tournament of terror. Watch that shadow lurking behind you. Watch that creeping under your bed. It's deep, fat, fried. Everybody, welcome to a special Halloween edition of Deep Fat Fried. We're going to be doing...
Notice the spooky lighting. We all made our lighting spooky.
This is actually pretty standard lighting for me, but whatever. Spooky! I'm so edgy, it's always Halloween for me.
Yeah, if you go to TJ's house, it pretty much always feels like it's
Halloween.
Yeah,
I pretty much just decorate my house with Halloween shit year round, so whatever. I think it's because I never got to be the goth kid that I wanted to be because I was too big, too fat, couldn't fucking pull off the goth aesthetic. Didn't stop some people, but they look ridiculous, so I never did it.
Yes, they did.
But anyway, so tonight, Tournament Terror, 2-part episode. We got 2 levels of horror icons. We got the B tier, which mostly consists of mortals or supernatural entities with minor powers. And then the A tier, which is like the heavy hitters. That's your Freddys and Jasons and so on and so forth. But in this episode, we're going to be focused on the B tier. Not necessarily the ultimate evils of the world, but, you know.
I don't even really think we should call it B tier because this is like the welterweights or the featherweights or the middleweights,
sure,
or whatever you want to call it.
It's like the evil bench. You know what? You need to
call it
bench.
like you call it lightweights or featherweights. Yeah. You can think of it like that.
Yeah. These people, because you go up against a fucking featherweight boxer that's trained and you're not trained as a fighter, he probably gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
so
I mean, they're not B tier in terms of the terror that they create. They're just B tier in terms of like their power levels are not quite as high.
Well,
as
yeah, of course. If they're stacked up against, but you know, that's like saying like you're competing with the best of the best. Of course, the best of the best monsters are, you know, a league above the others.
So let's do so let's quick rundown here. We got a bracket style tournament. We've done these before, so you guys might be somewhat familiar with the rules. We have brackets. It's double elimination, so even the losers will have a chance to win the grand prize. You can lose once and still win the whole shebang. The winner,
which is only fair. It's only fair because sometimes you just you get screwed by a roll or whatever. This gives you a chance to redeem yourself in the losers bracket, which is good.
They're going to have, and then the winner of this B tier or this featherweight tier, if you prefer, is going to face off against the winner of the heavyweight tier. And that will determine who the ultimate champion of the horror icons is in this tournament of terror. So, who are our featherweights? I'll go with that term. So we got Chucky from the Child's Play franchise. He is a supernatural entity, but of course he's not on. You know, he doesn't have the same power level as like a Jason or a Freddy, of course. We got Ghostface from the Scream movies. Then we have Paul's very favorite, the Cloyne. Paul, remember the Cloyne?
Yeah. Paul,
I can't believe you put the fucking Cloyne in it.
I had to put the Cloyne in it, dude. I had
Why'd you put the fucking Cloyne in this?
You lobbied him for hours. Because he did call me up. Was like, man, Paul will not shut about the Cloyne.
Yeah, Paul wants to act. Paul wants to put on this public face like he doesn't want the Cloyne on here. But
I've got a feeling that the Cloyne is going to go 2 and out. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. It depends on how the Cloyne rolls.
We've got the great Michael Myers, who I really struggled on what class to put him in. He's kind of like in the middle. Jack Torrance from The Shining. We got Hannibal Lecter from various films and television series. But I think, in my mind, I'm thinking of the Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs.
Of course. That's actually the Hannibal Lecter that's canon. Let's all be clear about it. I know several people have reprised the roles at varying levels of aptitude, and some people really like those reprisals. But let's be clear. Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs is Hannibal Lecter.
You got the Jigsaw Killer from the Saw films. And, of course, you got Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I think this is actually a pretty good selection of featherweights.
Especially the Cloyne, right? Especially the Cloyne.
The Cloyne is actually, I'm actually thinking about the Cloyne, TJ, and I think you may have fucked up and played a joke on all of us with this one.
Oh yeah,
because
why is that?
I'm remembering things about the Cloyne in the movie. I guess we'll get to it when he gets into the fight, but I don't know that he's necessarily as featherweight as you think he is.
Yeah, maybe he's not.
Because it depends on several factors. But anyway,
some of the factors it's going to depend on is the randomizations that have been built into the game. So I should go over really briefly some of the randomizations you're going to see. So each of these characters, when they go into battle, random chance in the form of a randomizer page is going to decide. It's going to decide whether they get an edge or a handicap or neither. It's going to decide what that edge is or what that handicap is. It's going to decide what weapon they're going to have access to, and it's going to decide what location the battle will take place in. So those factors can definitely come hugely into play to determine. Sometimes that helps the underdog prevail over, what you would think initially would be a superior opponent. And we've seen that happen before in these tournaments, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's about all the explanation you need. Now, I do have little biographical things about these characters. So let's start with our buddy Chucky here, since he's going to be in the first round against Ghostface from the Scream franchise. So, Chucky, here's a quote. "I'm fucking infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up. I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it." Chucky is the main antagonist of the Child's Play franchise. Charles Lee Ray was a serial killer who used a voodoo ritual in order to transfer his soul into a good guy's doll in an effort to escape the authorities. Now, living in the form of a doll, Chucky can terrorize families forever. So, basic breakdown of powers and abilities and weapons. Despite his small size, Chucky has the strength and speed of a fully grown man. He can use a variety of weapons, such as knives. Chucky is highly intelligent, able to create complex traps and escape virtually any situation. He also knows some voodoo. Weaknesses.
Voodoo, running from the magic.
Yep. He also has some weaknesses. Chucky is arrogant. He's cocky. He tends to underestimate his opponents. His voodoo abilities only work under very special circumstances and require some effort and work.
Raise, sugar woogum bar, Southwest voodoo in the hog. What do they say after that?
Wicked
racist,
voodoo.
Dope.
No, we're fucking it up.
Doped up, fucked up killers.
I think we're singing two different versions of the song. ICP does that. They have like 9 versions of some of their shit. While he may look like a doll, Chucky has remained a doll for so long that he is anatomically human. Chucky can bleed and feel pain just like a normal human and is vulnerable to fire, gunshots, etc. So he's not like some invincible fucking creature. That's pretty much it for Chucky. Let's you can add if you have anything to add to Chucky, you can do so. While I'm gooding up the ghost.
No. I think we should just get through the bios and then we'll get to the fight and we'll talk about the particulars.
Well, let's talk about Ghostface. Okay, Ghostface quote: "Do you like scary movies?" Of course, that's that's pretty much how he introduces himself in the first Scream movie, which to me is probably still the best of those.
Yeah, he calls what's her name on the phone. Who's that actor?
Reese. Is it Reese Witherspoon? No.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
Who dies right away, but interesting cameo role. Ghostface is the main antagonist of the Scream franchise. He is a fictional persona adopted by a number of people throughout the films. At least 12 people have taken on the mantle of Ghostface. They must have stuffed quite a lot of Ghostfaces in some of those later editions, because I only remember a few. Ghostface is an expert when it comes to stealth and evasion. He has combat prowess, criminal intelligence, and a bulletproof outfit. While Ghostface can use a variety of weapons, a knife is his preferred weapon. Weaknesses. Despite his haunting appearance, Ghostface is still human and can be killed the same way as anyone else.
Sure.
So let's find out what kind of randomizations we can fucking sex. Let's start with Chucky. So will Chucky have an edge, a handicap, or neither? Chucky gets an edge.
Okay.
I should probably write this shit down to not lose what the fuck track I'm thinking here. Chucky has 2 minutes to prepare for the fight. That's his edge.
He's got 2 whole minutes, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm getting a call from Raceland, Louisiana.
Oh boy, don't you get a call from Raceland? You better leave your house, TJ.
Raceland. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Get out of here. I don't want it. So Chucky has 2 minutes to prepare for this fight. So let's see what weapon Chucky gets access to. Pitchfork. That's going to be hard for Chucky to wield a pitchfork.
So, so that doesn't really help him.
Chucky has an edge.
Now, he does have 2 minutes to prepare, and Chucky is good at setting traps, so maybe he can rig the pitchfork in such a way.
2 minutes.
I think I mean, he's okay at setting traps, but really he's the trap. Like he's more of a run out of.
He's an unassuming little doll, and I don't know.
Or he's small enough to fit in small places, so he can drop from the ceiling, run at you from the side. You know, that's Chucky's kind of thing.
Well, Chucky might do something like rig up the pitchfork to where it's kind of like at an angle, and then you walk in the room and he slashes your fucking foot, and then you fucking and you fall and you fucking impale your own head on the pitchfork or something like that.
Maybe.
But Chucky, I can't really see him. He doesn't have the proper like size or leverage to actually do.
Maybe we should take care of this as we go so that we don't forget. So Chucky's got 2 extra minutes and a pitchfork, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To prep for this fight. We don't know the location yet, though.
Yes. So let's find out where this fight.
True.
Well, actually, we can do the location now. So let's see where this is gonna take place. An abandoned.
Hey, we should start
mill.
with the location. Let's start with the location on these.
All right, I can do that. I can make that the first thing.
That seems to be the most overarching thing. So it's in an abandoned steel mill. A lot of rusty, dangerous stuff around that can be used as improvisational weapons in a place like this. So you're talking like rusty old buzz saws, jagged pieces of rebar, concrete, chunks of bricks, and just all kinds of improvisational weapons.
Dilapidated machinery. There's gonna be a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
and a lot of environmental hazard as well. You get pushed around in there.
A lot of places for Chucky to hide too, because I remember
a lot of things to get him impaled on as well, though.
Yep.
So it's just like, it giveth and it taketh away. It taketh away.
Let's find out what Ghostface's shit's gonna be. Is he gonna get an edge, a handicap, or neither? Handicap.
Oh shit!
Ate too much spaghetti.
Oh man, that's a bad feeling too.
So that's gonna slow him down.
Yeah, it's gonna slow him down.
Let's see what weapon he gets. Rusty meat hook on 3 feet of chain.
Damn,
that's a pretty cool weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I could see fucking Ghostface doing some damage with that. So I guess what it comes down to for me is, if I could open the proceedings, is what does Chucky do with that fucking 2 minutes?
Right.
So he's in an abandoned steel mill. So he definitely has some time to set some traps, but he lacks his favorite weapon, a dagger, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have his little knife. He's got a pitchfork.
I think that Chucky is going to use that time to use the fucking busted up machinery to break off one of the tines of that pitchfork and then sharpen the edge of it. You get me?
Yeah.
Like he's going to break off one of the tines of the pitchfork, which for him is going to be a good size shiv. And then he's going to fucking sharpen that motherfucker up against some of that rusty steel and get it all nice and glistening and pointy and ready to fucking stick somebody.
Okay, I'll concur with Chucky doing that because a pitchfork is clearly not the ultimate weapon for him.
Because he can't do shit with that.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way
able to lift a pitchfork.
So yeah, Scotty, would you agree that Chucky would spend that his 2 minutes doing that? Scotty?
Now, see, I'm thinking about it. I mean, like, is 2 minutes enough time to do that?
What's that, Scotty?
I mean, Chucky's not super strong. I mean, even if there's equipment, it's it's in disrepair. It's dilapidated. It's been abandoned. So is it necessarily going to be something just to break off that one of those prongs from that pitchfork? I don't know.
Maybe he breaks the handle of it and uses that as a pointy fucking dagger or something. Because he's like,
Well, that could make I could see him doing that because I think Chucky's also gonna want the element of surprise. I mean, look, Chucky's smaller. He cannot fucking just go fight face to face. There's not.
Wait a minute. What if Chucky took the head off of a pitchfork? Could he wield that? Because that would be like a fistful of daggers. Yeah.
I mean, like that's not a bad idea. He might do something like that. He might even just fucking snap the thing in half and just have like a little bit of
almost like a kid-sized version. Yeah. Maybe Chucky makes it almost where it's like for a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like so he might do something. I think he would definitely try to modify his weapon because. That is the biggest disadvantage.
Is that going to take all the 2 minutes? Because then,
I mean, we got
2 minutes is spent on that.
We got to say that his 2 minutes is spent fucking modifying that pitchfork because there's no way he's going to be able to use it when it's full size.
I will tell you this: Chucky, I feel, is going to be hampered if he's wielding what for him is like a little staff.
I think that
he's a dagger guy, dude. Like Chucky has always got it. He's a slasher.
Yeah,
he always wants that dagger. In fact, the same is true of fucking
Ghostface. Yeah,
Ghostface. We got a couple of dagger fighters here. I think Chucky's going to try and make something that approximates a dagger. And if not from the pitchfork, maybe he ditches that and grabs a saw blade that's small enough for him to get his little hand wrapped around so that he can use it to slash, and I don't know.
I think that what he'd be most likely to do is I think he's either going to use the fucking assuming this pitchfork is pretty sharp, and I mean it's a horror movie pitchfork, so we got to assume that the motherfucker is sharp. I think he's either going to break off the head of that thing or just leave like a fucking small length of wood, or he's going to just snap it and then use the fucking pointy end of the stick to fucking stab.
Well, here's another thing. Now, another rub to this with this tournament, and we haven't really discussed this. Is Ghostface going there like I'm fighting Chucky? So does he have the knowledge that, or is Chucky ambushing him?
There's nothing that says
Chucky has the edge.
I think that I think you got to assume that Ghostface is going into this knowing he's fucking fighting a
okay.
Chucky. Like he's not like totally surprised.
And he's had infinite time.
But you know what? I guess he went into it thinking, you know what? I'm really hungry. I'm gonna stop by fucking Olive Garden or something.
That's a good point, Scotty. That's a flaw in this, because that would mean that Ghostface has had X amount of time to prepare too. He's not gonna walk in blind.
He's not prepared. Let's say that he went off and
he's looking. He's been on the lookout.
He ate his Olive Garden, and then all of a sudden some event happens where he finds himself thrust into this situation where he's got to fight this fucking killer doll or something, Chucky's I don't know how you fucking could couch it, but he didn't have time to prepare. He just runs into the fucking place like, I'm gonna fuck this doll up because he fucking fucked my bitch or whatever. Maybe he killed Ghostface's girlfriend or some shit.
Dude, maybe it said on the receipt, I know who you are. Meet me at old steel mill or something.
Yeah, he got his Olive Garden. It's like, hey, meet me at the old abandoned steel mill.
I know your real identity, or whatever the fuck. That's how Chucky gets him there or whatever.
So, I mean, I think we could assume that he knows he's going to a fight. Maybe he doesn't know it's against a killer doll. I don't know.
But for some reason, he's bringing a length of chain with a rusty meat hook on the end of it.
Yeah, He's got a great weapon. But for some reason, he just really wanted to eat a ton of spaghetti. I guess that's maybe his weakness food, and he just eats too much.
All right, here's what happened. Ghostface and his girlfriend went to Olive Garden and fucking ate a bunch of spaghetti, and then, Chucky jumped out of the back seat, fucking strangled his girlfriend to death, and then runs off into the thing. And then Ghostface is out there looking for a weapon because he didn't bring his knife with him, and that's why it took 2 minutes for him to get in there. And he found outside the fucking chain and the meat hook, and now he's in there. But Chucky had 2 minutes to prepare with his little pitchfork that Chucky also found in there. So there you go.
So I have to assume that Chucky's going to spend most of his time
getting that weapon scenario. Yeah.
But I don't see Ghostface entering the steel mill, and Chucky's just like, here I am. No
way. That's not how Chucky fights. Chucky's going to be hiding somewhere, waiting to fucking get a surprise attack on this motherfucker. Because Chucky kind of kills you like a hyena. He picks at you. You know what I mean? He fucking comes at you. He slashes. He does some damage, and then he's gone. And then you're just like, fuck, ah!
Yeah, he cuts your Achilles tendon and then runs away,
Right, yeah, that's Chucky style. So it's like a matter of, like, can you catch him and fuck him up before he fucks you up too bad? And then
Ghostface is going to have a range advantage in this, too. Because Chucky 1 is smaller, and Ghostface has a length of chain with a meat hook. So that does play into it.
Look, Chucky knows how to use his size to his advantage, though. Yeah.
And he's in an old abandoned steel mill, which is going to be filled with shadowy corners and old machines.
That's true. Ghostface is not going to be able to see very well, so I think Chucky has the edge here.
I think Ghostface too is just. I think he's going to be the prey in this situation, and it's just a matter.
It all
of
depends on what can fucking Chucky plausibly use, because Chucky is a doll. So he's got a pitchfork. He actually got really hit hard in the weapon category because he can do fuck all with a pitchfork.
Right. She got a shit weapon for him.
What could a doll do in 2 minutes with a pitchfork to make it a weapon that he could use?
I really think he's just going to snap it in half. Because remember, he has strength akin to that of a grown human being, just through magic voodoo power. So I think he snaps that motherfucker in half.
Right now, I'm looking.
Gets a nice sharp stick and fucking is going to ram that shit into fucking Ghostface fucking abdomen or some shit.
Well, if he can do that, why wouldn't he just break one of those tines? Like I said, if he's got the strength of a man, wedge that fucking pitchfork in and snap those fucking tines off of it and make yourself a fucking dagger that you can, because it's already sharp. It's a horror pitchfork.
Yeah, I just don't know if 2 minutes is enough time to do that. Because, like, I imagine if you're doing that with a pitchfork, you're going to have to, like, stare, like, You're gonna
I'm talking about, like, wedging it under something and pushing all your weight and fucking leverage and strength down on it until it just snaps, breaking it. Not, like, sawing on it or milling it or whatever, just trying to break that tine, or smashing it up against something really hard, or stabbing it into the side of something that's really hard.
I guess it just kind of depends on how if the metal is brittle or if it's more flexible. Because if the metal is more flexible, you're gonna have to sit there and weaken that thing.
I mean, look,
pitchforks are designed to move hay around, so they ain't exactly designed to be dug around in the dirt.
Right.
So you gotta fucking take it. They're very thin. Like, have you ever seen an actual the pitch?
Oh, of course, yeah.
On a pitchfork are not super fucking thick.
Well, they're
very thin. You could break one. You know,
I mean, with enough time, but he only has 2 minutes. If he had like 20 minutes, I don't think it'd be much of a debate. But 2 minutes, I mean, it's hard to get almost anything done in 2 minutes. So even if he is able to, I mean, we have to assume at the very least. I mean, even if Chucky has a lot, supernatural strength to some degree, even if Chucky snaps, that's at least 30 seconds.
Let's ask ourselves: is Chucky just going to discard this pitchfork and look for something else that would be in a fucking abandoned steel mill to use as a weapon? Like, is he going to look at that pitchfork and be like, this is not what I need?
Dude, an abandoned steel mill would be filled with old abandoned tools, rebar. All of those things are plausibly there.
Yeah, pipes,
let's remember,
wiring,
Chucky has murdered people with other shit. I mean, he's used hammers. He's used fucking
scissors.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if Chucky could find a fucking screwdriver or something in there, that'd probably be a better weapon for him.
There's a screwdriver there, guaranteed. Like, look, it's an abandoned steel mill. There's gonna be a big, long, fucking Phillips screwdriver. I think Chucky's gonna say, "Fuck this pitchfork. I don't have time for this," and he's gonna go fucking use his 2 minutes to forage around the fucking area. Not only that, but to gain like knowledge as he goes
of the terrain.
Attack angles, hiding points, places that he knows that Ghostface isn't going to be able to reach him, etc. Vents, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, 2 minutes is enough to get a little brief overview of the place. So, TJ, I'm assuming this takes place at night, or does this take place during the day?
Do we determine that? It definitely takes place. I mean,
it's Halloween.
Everything is horror themed here. This is
okay. So it's night. Okay.
Let me tell you what I was thinking about when I was thinking about this abandoned.
Is there a full moon?
I was thinking about this as being. I tried to put a natural habitat for all the characters who are involved in this tournament who have natural habitats, and I was really thinking about. The steel mill from. I don't even know if it was a steel mill, but like there was always a lot of like factory sets in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you know, like these like furnaces and grates and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I tried to kind of get that, and then I kind of also thought about, even though it's not a outright horror movie, the steel mill from T2. So I kind of thought about those kind of locations. It's like really industrial locations.
I think because it's horror icons going on, maybe you guys won't agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be unfair to a lot of the people on this list if we limited vision. So I think we need to like go with the spirit of this being a Halloween episode and horror movie episode and assume that it's lit like a movie set version of what we're talking about.
Sure,
right?
Of course. I mean, look,
it's night, but you can see, you know, because there's moonlight coming through the window or whatever the fuck,
and let's be charitable here. I mean, like Ghostface and Chucky are both used to killing people in dark environments. I mean, both of them have used darkness to their advantage in these films. So
absolutely,
I think both these guys have some idea about how to fucking stalk prey in the dark.
Yeah, but in my mind's eye, I'm gonna be looking at this as like a night set from a fucking like a horror movie. You know what I mean? Like it's got enough light where you can see the principles. It's got shadowy areas.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I happen to think that. So let's go with the conceit that Chucky discards the pitchfork and picks up something like, you know, he
runs all through the factory looking for hiding spots, vents and shit, and also looking for a weapon, and he finds a fucking screwdriver.
I'm gonna say, he finds a screwdriver, or maybe even just like a piece of like corroded metal that's like sharp, you know?
You know what he finds?
What?
A fucking box cutter.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a tool that's all over the fucking place.
He's used them before too.
Yeah, so let's just go with the conceit that Chucky has a box cutter.
Yeah,
because that's definitely something you could believably find in some place like that.
A nice rusty old box cutter with a blade still in it, and it still works, and he's able to fucking wield it like a little switchblade, basically.
Right. So he's got the box cutter. Ghostface has got his meat hook on a length of chain, which is a good bludgeoning tool, and we're going to assume that it's also sharp enough to be used as a fucking hook too. So how does this play out? Because I kind of see Ghostface. The vision I see in my head is Ghostface kind of like walking along on one of those like narrow sort of like grates, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of just like,
but you know what's going to be hampering him? He's fucking full as fuck, dude.
He's got mom's spaghetti.
He's full of spaghetti.
He's full of fucking spaghetti.
He's not, and if he's got spaghetti at the fucking Olive Garden, you know he took advantage of the endless breadsticks.
Right, and let's be honest here. Like, and the whole conceit is he ate too much spaghetti. Too much spaghetti. So he is
overindulged.
He is like,
he's gonna have a little bit of a slower time.
So he's full. So he's kind of like wandering. He's like,
might even be farting. He might even be like less stealthy because he's farting and belching and like having to hold back farts and shit.
Like, oh god, I wish I hadn't eaten all the fucking spaghetti. Fucking son of a bitch.
I don't want to like this is not canon, but I want you guys to follow me here.
Okay.
Follow my logic. Yeah. Because I really, before I start talking about the fight, I think about the environmentals, and really I think Chucky wins this. I'm going to say Chucky wins this because he has the drop on the dude. The dude has got a big fat belly filled with spaghetti. He's not in his prime. He didn't get any time to prep. All he had time to do was grab some fucking rusty meat hook on a chain. and run out there. He's not going to get a stealthy approach into the fucking building.
No,
because Chucky's only got 2 minutes to prepare. So he comes right in the front, and Chucky's hiding somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
And this dude's like, doing his fucking Ghostface shit because like he terrorizes his victims.
Yes.
So he's gonna be like, come out wherever you are. Oh god. And like trying to goad come on, little Chucky, come get the meat hook. And he's gonna be trying to swing it, but he's also gonna be sweating. You ever get the fucking spaghetti sweats?
Yeah. Let me tell you this too. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. So Chucky's entire strategy when it comes to doing this is, like I said, he's like a hyena. He picks his prey apart piece by piece.
Right.
Chucky's gonna be hiding in those shadows. He's gonna be jumping out. He's gonna be fucking slicing at this dude. And the whole thing is like, can you be fast enough to catch Chucky in the act?
And he's
got a big fucking spaghetti belly. So I don't think he does it. I think you're probably right. I think for my money, I think Chucky wins. I'll vote Chucky, but it's tentative to what Scotty thinks. Scotty, do you want to make a case for Ghostface, or do you agree?
Let me finish what I think happens.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I think in the nutshell, fucking Ghostface walks around. He's hampered by his spaghetti belly. He's trying to, be scary to Chucky, who ain't scared of shit because he's already a fucking.
Well, I'll say this at this point. I don't think any of us disagree with that. I mean, he's obviously looking. He's stalking.
Right. And Chucky's going to pick an ample opportunity as he's wandering around this factory to come out and slice this dude's Achilles tendon, which there's nothing in the book that says that he has it, or nothing in the movies that says he has any protection on his legs or feet.
No.
So he's going to cut his fucking Achilles tendon. When you do that, you can't use that leg. The guy's dead. He's got a length of chain and a meat hook. Chucky's just going to wait for him to fucking bleed and be in pain. And at the right moment, he's going to come and cut him again. Open up the femoral artery or some shit on the back of his leg and then run. And the dude's going to swing his fucking chain, but he's got a big spaghetti belly to deal with. And it's going to be slower than it would be if he hadn't had that goddamn Olive Garden all you can eat spaghetti and fucking breadsticks meal, but he did. And then Chucky, I don't mean to drag it out. Eventually the dude's dead, right? Chucky eventually has a simpering, whimpering animal about to die before him, and he cuts his throat and leaves the fucking place.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with your assessment. Scotty, do you think Ghostface would prevail over Chucky? Can you create a scenario, or do you think that you just concur with us on this?
Well, I'm trying to think about the times Chucky was defeated. And do I think that those scenarios would play out? Like one time I know Chucky was defeated by a fan.
Yeah, he fell into a giant fan.
There's not
anything that's happen here. It's an old abandoned steel mill. There's going to be big fans that maybe.
But are they going to be, but are they going to be going? I don't know.
See, here's the thing that really, the thing that really clinches it for me is just the fact that in order to fucking catch Chucky, Ghostface is going to have to be fast. He's got a spaghetti belly. He's not going to be fast.
Yeah.
He's going to lose.
Dude, spaghetti.
If not for that spaghetti belly.
Take Usain Bolt and sit him down at a table and have too much spaghetti, and I could probably outrun him. Dude, spaghetti belly is the worst.
You're right. And that's why I made it a weakness. I mean, look, I think that it just slows him down too much. I don't think he's going to be fast enough to catch Chucky. I think he's going to just get picked apart.
Yeah, and I mean,
by the way, I was kidding. I don't think Usain Bolt was big. He would still dust me with spaghetti belly.
Hopefully, people realize that was. But
I know. No, they don't. That's why I had to say it, because in the fucking comments would be a comment like, "Did Paul just say he could beat Usain Bolt in a foot race? This guy's really gotten fucking out of line." It was a joke, y'all.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
think in Child's Play 1, they shoot and kill Chucky.
Yeah. You shoot him through the heart. Yeah.
Yeah. They shoot him through the heart. But I mean,
there ain't no gun.
Ghostface doesn't have any fucking. He doesn't have a gun.
In part 2, he's got to be melted down by hot plastic.
Now, if it was an active steel mill, I could see maybe Ghostface, even if Chucky gets a cut on him, he grabs it and throws Chucky into the fucking, the steel, the molten steel.
You know a little bit about weapons, Scotty. You're not like a weapons expert or nothing, but I know that you're in. You like Conan and shit, and we all probably know a little bit about weapons, especially when it comes to movie type weapons. So the length of chain with the rusty meat hook, would you say that's good against a really fast, small, strong, agile enemy?
That's not a great weapon against that.
And that's not even his specialty. No, if it was his specialty, like if he had some like supernatural like ability to wield it, then sure. But
I'll tell you this: like he does use different weapons in the Scream movies.
Well,
and it does seem like something that Ghostface would pick up to kill a cheerleader at school after he terrorizes her or something, you know, and hang her up with it. But in the terms of like, is that a good defensive weapon or offensive weapon against a tiny,
no, it's not
fast, strong, evasive?
Well, there is potential with it though. I mean, but just look. Here's what I would say. If it was, you know, I mean, obviously we're saying it's fairly bright enough to see. But if Chucky already has that time advantage and Chucky just darts out, I just don't feel there's any way that Chucky's not going to do damage first.
So let's go
Chucky's going to deal the first damage.
Yeah, I think Chucky definitely gets the first blow, and I just don't see Ghostface having a response because
I think first blood in this fight wins it, and I don't see fucking Ghostface with his big spaghetti belly and spaghetti part.
I might think differently if not for the spaghetti belly, but I think that's the fucking deciding factor for me. So I think we got to move on this one.
He's too slow. Yeah. Well, Chucky, I have to agree. I think overall, Ghostface, you know, maybe he damages Chucky a little bit. Maybe he's able to, you know, get the meat hook through one of his legs or something. But ultimately, Chucky just kills him.
So I think
Loser's braggart.
I think Chucky.
Get out of here.
I think Chucky goes on. So the next battle is the Cloyne versus Michael Myers. So let's learn about the Cloyne.
Damn, dude.
The Cloyne is a demonic child-eating clown. Where have I heard that before? And the main antagonist of the 2014 horror film Clown. Real estate agent Kent McCoy found a clown costume at one of his properties and wore it to his son's 7th birthday party. Little did he know he would be transformed into an unholy monster with a craving for the flesh of children. Powers and abilities and weapons. The Cloyne possesses super strength, enhanced speed, and agility. He possesses a healing factor, sharp fangs, claws, and has high intelligence. He can even survive a direct gunshot to the head. The Cloyne can be killed by decapitation. This is weaknesses. He can be killed by decapitation. He is also easily distracted by children and has a voracious hunger for their flesh. He can also be stunned by gunfire. However, this cannot kill him. I didn't involve any guns in this at any level, though, so I wanted fucking classic slasher weapons, so no one's going to get a gun.
It's at least a good metric to know what kind of damage he can sustain and keep coming at you.
Sure.
This is why I thought he might have been better suited for the upper tier, because when I started thinking about the Cloyne, I was like, TJ's going to say, because the question I had for you about the Cloyne was, technically, he's the Cloyne when he's halfway to the Cloyne.
Right.
He starts as more of like a normal, like just dude, but with claws and fangs that preys on children. And that's how he gets stronger. And his final form is the demon, the Cloyne. So you're saying the final form of the Cloyne, which is like a demon that like eats children at will on the planet, that has been killed and is now being brought back.
Because of the suit.
Because so this is like a supervillain almost that you've put in the featherweight category.
Yeah, so maybe the Cloyne's going to win it all. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. So like Michael Myers, okay, what's he going to do?
So Michael Myers, I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding. Even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. Dr. Samuel Loomis. Michael Myers.
Actually, one of the greatest lines to introduce a villain in horror history, by the way.
And delivered great by Don Pleasance. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a great actor.
It's Pleasant.
He did a lot of schlock, but he was great. Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape, is a serial killer portrayed as an entity of pure evil and the main antagonist of the Halloween franchise. Michael Myers has enhanced strength, high-level intelligence, durability, high endurance, tracking skills, and stealth. While Michael can use any blunt object as weapons, he prefers to use a knife. There's also he can use pretty much anything as an impalement tool. Like his strength is such, he grabs. There's one of, I think it was 4, where he grabs a shotgun, and you think, like, is Michael Myers going to shoot this bitch? No, he actually impales her on the shotgun. Crazy shit.
He is real strong for sure.
Yeah, Michael Myers has supernatural strength.
He's also impaled people. He's also stuck people to walls with like just a knife. So like he can lift someone with one. He's super strong. He has incredible strength. So that has to be remembered. While Michael
is incredible damage too. I mean, he's been shot several times and survived. So
Michael's very strong. He has been beheaded, set on fire, impaled through the chest, etc. He has a harder time killing without stealth and with foes that are strong themselves or have martial arts skills, such as Busta Rhymes.
When it comes to characters like this, I think we have to concede that it's not necessarily about killing; it's about winning the fight. Because Michael Myers has come back from being burned, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
He's been shot. He's been exploded. He's been decapitated. He's been.
So I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's winning the fight. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Right, so like whatever happens to Michael Myers, chances are he's gonna come back at some point.
He's coming back, yeah.
And the same thing with the cloyne. Like the suit persists throughout history, and it finds its way to another person after it gets destroyed. And
Absolutely.
That's the whole point.
So let's find out what kind of fucking fight we're gonna have between these two. So first of all, let's figure out locations.
Okay, yeah.
The Amityville house.
Okay, so just an old house that people
old creepy house.
Grifted and said where it was haunted, but really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, in the context of this, it's the Amityville house from the movie, so it is haunted. It's
It's got the demon and Bale or whatever living in the basement.
Yeah, so all the fucking ghosts are there. Maybe the ghost maybe they'll intercede. Who knows? We'll see. So we're gonna start with the cloyne. Find out whether he's gonna have. No, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, yes, he is gonna have a handicap. So what's the cloyne's handicap going to be? Farted in their diaper and some poop came out.
The cloyne doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, he did give a shit.
The cloyne is wearing a suit that is his body, and he pooped in it. He's not going to give a fuck.
Yeah, so I mean,
probably what he does naturally does.
I'm not even gonna bother writing that down because I don't see that having any impact on the fight. I mean, Michael Myers is not going to care about the smell of the fucking cloyne shit, and the cloyne's not going to care about shit in its pants.
No.
Let's see what he gets. Claw hammer.
Okay. The cloyne has it. Okay, yeah, I mean that's good. Whatever. I mean it's a good little bludgeoning weapon.
So let's see what Michael gets. He gets an edge. What's his edge? Brainwashed TJ assists him. So I am
Okay, so that's not
I'm going to basically be a brainwashed version of myself is being directed by Michael Myers to fight the cloyne. So that might be useful for a momentary distraction, I guess.
You know what I pictured?
In the cloyne movie, he fights his wife, the guy that becomes possessed, the real estate agent. So I mean, that is an advantage because he didn't just dispatch those people instantly. I mean, obviously he was distracted by her being pregnant and shit. There was some other factors, but you're still gonna do something, even if he has to kill you, even if he goes and kills you quickly.
Hey, the time it takes for him to kill me might give Michael a chance for fucking attacks.
Yeah,
that's true. But
yep.
You know what I pictured?
Yeah,
because the cloyne likes little kids. I pictured you like dressed up like an 1860s boy with like
with like a giant lollipop.
Yeah, and a giant lolly and the little you kind of look like the berries and cream kid or whatever. You remember that commercial?
Yeah. Berries and cream. Yeah, I remember that.
You got like this.
No, we're not doing the fucking fuck the.
You're like, hello there, Mr. Cloud.
All right,
I sure do love Cloud.
Oh damn, dude.
So Michael Myers has the communist combo, the hammer and the sickle.
It's the fucking Soviet version of Michael Myers.
Yes.
Damn. He's gonna wield that brutally. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, damn. So this is looking better and better for Michael Myers.
The sickle is so we know if the cloyne can be decapitated, a sickle is a pretty good decapitation tool in this instance, especially in the hands of Michael Myers. So
and having it.
Well, the range is not great. A sickle is just like that. You know, it's like a hand scythe basically.
Michael Myers is pretty big, and to slash out. I mean, I'm not saying it's like a fucking. It's not like a spear or something, but that gives him pretty decent range compared to like just the knife.
All right, so that's our fight. So like, how does this play out?
I hate you for putting the fucking cloyne in this.
Yeah.
So the cloyne, I think, is faster than Michael Myers.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, Michael Myers is not a fast monster.
The cloyne is wielding a pretty good small hit and run weapon. It also has claws, so it might just throw that fucking hammer at Michael Myers.
Yeah, it might just.
You know what I mean? I can't really see a hammer upgrading its big giant fucking claws.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Michael Myers has a brainwashed TJ. So how is he going to use? Is that going to be like if the cloyne gets an advantage, suddenly TJ pops out and grabs him and gives Michael Myers breathing room? Is it going to be, hey, I'm going to distract you with this?
I mean, I guess we have to ask TJ, like, what would you do if you were a total sycophant to Michael Myers and you had to protect him at any cost from the cloyne? Like,
I mean,
and you had no concern for your own well-being because it had been brainwashed
right?
away.
Because that's the whole thing, is the brainwashing thing. So,
you don't give a shit.
I mean, I would imagine that I would basically attack the cloyne. And then while the cloyne is like brutally ripping me to shreds, Michael Myers is like trying to get an attack going,
So here's the thing. It would take the cloyne like a second to brutally rip you to shreds. It has giant claws and it's super strong and agile. It would cut you and you would be completely incapacitated in one attack.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to distract him for longer than a second or two.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
that seems a little bit.
At least 5.
I don't. TJ's big. That's why I didn't think he.
Yeah, but you watched the movie too. If we're going based on the movie, you can't just say, "Well, whole cloth." Like he would slash him and he'd be dead, and that was it. Like he fought other people in the movie.
I don't remember. Yeah,
I didn't say he would slash him and he'd be dead. I said he would slash him and hurt him so bad that TJ would be incapacitated.
He's a sycophant. He's gonna still keep coming. So the cloyne's gonna take at least maybe 5-10 seconds to dispatch TJ, and that gives Michael Myers ample time to fucking take his head off or stab him.
I gotta disagree that anything with super strength and super agility is going to take 10. Because let me count it for you.
Okay, but in the movie,
1,000, 2, 1,000, 3.
Why didn't he do that in the movie? If he had those abilities in the movie, that was never.
TJ, I didn't put TJ. Yeah. You looked up your information. I didn't give you the information on the cloyne, right?
Right.
So in the movie, when he's in his final form, the whole point is Scotty, is that in his final form, he's a demon.
Yeah, I know.
Like a full-fledged demon living on Earth. He's not just like a kind of strong dude.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, he's fast. He can jump. In the movie, he jumps all over the fucking place. He moves faster than the eye can see. He slashes real quick. He's not going to take 10 full seconds to kill TJ.
Let's just see.
In his final form.
I mean, that's your opinion.
So here he is, his ultimate form here.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty imposing. I don't deny that.
I don't even think that's his final fucking form. I think that's a transitional form towards the end. He gets like huge at the end.
I don't think that he is a form beyond that. Maybe. I mean, like I said, I don't remember the movie super well because it's not that great.
Well, it's close enough to the end that we can assume it.
Yeah, I think this is his final form here.
So super strong, super agile, has razor sharp claws, razor sharp teeth.
How is he
defeated
in the movie?
Are you saying that your character just runs in and attacks the
I'm saying that I run in and grab him, and I think he fucking breaks my grip pretty quickly. I mean, I'm gonna assume it's gonna take at least
in the Amityville
house, right?
Amityville house. Okay, so it's a house. It's a regular house. So where in the house do you grab? Like,
it's not a regular house. There are ghosts in the house. So I don't know that the ghosts are gonna necessarily intercede in this in any way or even be a factor, but there are ghosts there.
This is the type of thing that like TJ would come running at it thinking he got the drop on it, and it wouldn't even look at him and stick its hand out and grab him by the throat and break his neck. Like that's the type of villain he is at the end of this movie. He's like
How was the cloyne defeated at the end of the movie?
by the love of his wife, because his wife.
His wife distracts him, and then someone decapitates him from behind or something.
Yeah, he gets chained up.
His wife distracts him. He gets chained up in the basement and hidden away, and then eventually just decapitated or whatever the fuck it is at the end. When she finds out that she can't save him, she kills him. Yeah. But he'd already been subdued because his host loved her. Nothing that he loves is in the fucking Amityville house.
Right.
No. I definitely know that.
It ain't gonna like. Can we do an experiment?
Isn't there a ghost? Wait a minute. Isn't there a ghost of a child in the Amityville house? Canonically in the film.
I think there is. Yeah.
So couldn't that could potentially distract him? Like, ooh,
it could, but we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even to that point yet. I agree.
Okay.
We're talking about your ambush attack because you're brainwashed, TJ, and we asked you, what would you do? And you said you would attack the guy. Now, do you wish to change that?
No, I think that's what I mean. Like, I'm brainwashed. I consider myself at that point to be sort of like a brainless zombie. Like, I don't have any fucking regard for like my preservation or anything. I'm just like,
you run up to the coin.
Clown threatened master must kill coin.
Right. I want you to just indulge me in an experiment.
Okay.
And let's count out 10 seconds.
Okay.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 1,010, 1,000.
Yeah. I think within 5 or 10 seconds, between somewhere around there, is how long, if TJ attacked the coin, how long it would take to dispatch him.
Does the coin want to like is the coin just like meh dispense with you, or is he like taking some relish?
He came to fight, right? I mean, we know both of these dudes came to fight.
Right.
This is about fight. They know they came here to fight. So he's not here to relish anything. Now he might be distracted by a little girl. You want to make that claim? That might, add some time to what it would take to dispatch the TJ. But I think that would be giving TJ a power up if the little girl shows up right when TJ does.
Yeah, appears randomly and it's like, no, look at me.
But whatever. I mean, I'd be willing to cut it in half and say maybe he's got, but 5 even seems like if you watch the end of this movie, he's pretty like fast as he's turning into the clone. Like it's like a werewolf almost.
Right.
Well, I don't deny that. I think TJ be dispatched quickly, but I mean, saying 1 second, I mean, that's
he could rip his throat out, and what would TJ do? What if he just like slashed TJ's throat with one swipe?
Here's how I assume it. TJ runs at him, so the coin, even if he doesn't see it, so that's a couple seconds. TJ's gonna be in the house. He runs at it. The coin slashes TJ. Maybe it does a lot of damage. Maybe it kills. But unless it's an instant kill, even TJ falling to the ground is going to take a couple seconds. So I think that's going to be at least 5 to 10 seconds.
If
that gives Michael Myers an opening to attack.
I mean,
well, then why even have the assist, Paul? If it's like, it doesn't even make any sense. If it's like Michael Myers doesn't use the assist,
because this would have worked better with somebody else. Like, TJ happened to draw one of the stronger fucking people on this list as his opponent. Like if this was like Clownface or something, or whatever, the guy from the last one that lost. What's he called again?
Ghostface,
yeah.
Ghostface killer.
TJ, it would take Ghostface probably 10 minutes to fucking fight with and wrestle with an angry TJ. Or not 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and stab him enough times.
Ghostface, I would say longer, because I mean, even if he stabs TJ, that's still gonna take a few.
I'm willing to meet you halfway and say he's got 5 fucking seconds that it takes him to deal with the whole.
If we can compromise on 5 seconds, then at least we can say it's TJ's 5 seconds.
Like, I think you probably think it might be a little longer. I think it might be a little shorter. So we're gonna have to find a middle ground on this. I'll give you your 5.
Yeah, I'm happy with at least 5 seconds because I think that gives, if nothing else, Michael Myers has a solid opportunity of attack. I mean, because even if it's killing TJ, maybe his back is to Michael Myers. Because even if he has to dispatch TJ, he has to at least face TJ to do that.
So one of the problems we got here too is that Michael Myers is in like 13 movies or something, and every one of those movies kind of has a different idea about how much power Michael Myers has, how fast he is, how big he is. There's lots of different interpretations of who Michael Myers is. You know what I mean? We got to fucking decide on what Michael Myers we're talking about here.
The clone doesn't have the benefit, and neither does a lot of the people on this list have the benefit of multiple iterations of themselves that always get stronger. So we have to assume, right, it's got to be an early Michael Myers iteration. We can't go with like the Space Hulk Michael Myers or whatever. No, I know that's Jason, but you get my drift. Like,
so like, I get you. Yeah.
I mean, like, there's because
what can Michael Myers do in the first couple movies? Like, what was the range?
Okay, so if we're gonna just go like on like maybe like the first few movies Michael Myers is in and like kind of ignore some of the later shit, we know Michael Myers can survive being shot. We know he has super strength. That's all fucking established very fucking quickly in the movies.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the clone ain't shooting no gun at him though.
Yeah, no one's shooting any guns. No one here's got a gun. The clone has a hammer, but he's probably just gonna use his claws. Michael Myers has a hammer and sickle, which he definitely will use if he gets the chance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd say if you're going to go with the Michael Myers from, like, maybe the first 2 or 3 movies that he's in, then, you know, you got the strength, you got some imperviousness, but not, like, invincibility or anything.
He also has a penchant for beheading.
Yes. He does like to chop people's heads off.
Couple.
Well, he likes to. So
that is an advantage he does have.
But like, how often is he going up against someone who's can move like the clone can? Because the clone.
Well, here's the thing: he's got 5 fucking seconds, TJ. That's why I was arguing so hard for a lower number of fucking seconds.
Right.
Because giving him 5 fucking seconds of unadulterated attention is on you for the clone means that fucking Michael Myers comes out from a pillar right behind him. And as he's fucking finishing you off, he beheads the clone with the sickle.
Well, you know, like,
and makes sure he's dead with the fucking hammer, and it's over.
The thing is, too, though, is that Michael Myers is not exactly Speedy Gonzalez, though. You know,
that doesn't matter, though. It's like he's in the house, right?
Yeah,
the clone is coming into the house. You're ambushing him.
Or is it the
other way around? Like,
I'm trying to fucking. First? I need to see this clone in fucking action is what I really need to fucking do.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But like Michael Myers obviously is directing your attack, TJ. So I think that's what Paul is saying. Like if you're a brainwashed sycophant where you're just going to run at him, like he's not going to do it when you're like, he's not able to attack. He's going to do it where he's going to. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say what you were probably going to say. So you go ahead.
Just, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if he's using, if it's done to his advantage, like, yeah, the 5 seconds is enough time where he can probably decapitate the clone. But like I said, if you want to look at more into the clone's abilities and speed, I mean, I'm definitely willing to see that because maybe the clone dodges or something. I mean, I'm not willing to dismiss it outright.
I'm trying to fucking.
We know the clone is super fast. We know he's super strong, but here's an element that we kind of glossed over that I think we need to consider here.
What's that?
Does he get itch ass? Because if he farted in his diaper and some poop came out, he's got a fucking if you've ever pooped a little bit and a little tiny bit of shit came out and you don't know it, and you find out like 30 minutes later because you get a raging case of the fucking burning itch ass, like he's gonna, it's uncomfortable. Babies get rashes on their butts. You have to put fucking powder on them to keep the fucking diaper rash away because it's like when you're soaked in your own feces. Like you get itchy. Like, are we gonna say that the clone, who's human enough, by the way, to be influenced by his host vessel's wife, right?
Yeah.
Does he get itch ass? Because that would make him pretty fucking uncomfortable too.
I'm trying to find somewhere that's actually, man, they don't fucking. There's like, it's hard to find this fucking movie. It used to be streaming in a few places, but now it's like nowhere.
Yeah, it's for the best, by the way.
Yeah, the movie sucks. Fuck.
I'll tell you what I remember because I did a fucking review on it, and I had to watch the movie for the review. I remember that he at the end, the only thing it was almost insinuated like the only thing that was going to stop him was his wife. Right. Like that was the plan. Was like the only connection that he had to the world anymore at all was her, because the host vessel was still in there somewhere, and so she appeals to his love or whatever the fuck. But like it's established that if that hadn't happened, he was just gonna rampage. No cop was gonna be able to kill him. He can be shot. It's not gonna matter. You know, you have to fucking, he turns into like a werewolf. You have to behead him to kill him. Who's going to do that? So he's like powerful, dude. A demon made flesh is powerful. That's the whole point. And kind of what makes the movie lame. But also that's, you know, that it's not a critique. We're not here to critique the fucking movie.
Right. No. We're here to fucking decide who wins this thing.
The movie portrays it like, I remember this ominous speech of the guy that used to own the clown suit. When he's unleashed upon the world, children everywhere will suffer, and none will be able to stop him. He will feed wantonly, wherever he wants, however many he wants, whenever he wants. He will be a true scourge on the planet. You know, there's this whole, I don't know if that's a direct quote, but there's this whole ominous, like, we can't let him turn into, you have to kill him now while he's still half your husband. Because if he turns into his final form, he's a fucking scourge on the planet. He will eat children until the end of time.
Right. But he has been stopped in the past. So obviously
he's been stopped in the past by people fucking beheading him.
Right. Human beings have stopped this thing.
But they've done it with concerted effort. He talks about it.
Yeah.
He talks about how it took an entire town worth of people rising up against him to stop him the last time.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I wish I could find this movie streaming somewhere so we could fucking kind of like get an idea of his like how he moves. What kind of speed he moves with. Let me look at something real quick.
You know, let me look at something real quick. What year did this come out in?
What's that?
What year did this come out in?
2014.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I've been
looking
all over the place.
I've been looking on streaming services. I've been looking on YouTube to see if they have like the ending anywhere.
I've got a less than reputable copy here that's trying.
It's on it is on Prime Video. I guess you can watch it.
I tried. Ads. I looked on Prime. I didn't see it on there.
It's free with ads, and that would suck. Here, I think I found it, guys. Okay, here I landed on something that looks like it's good.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, let's use this as some context.
Okay, so you want to unshare?
Yeah, I'll unshare my screen for a minute.
Okay, and I'll share mine. All right, here we go. You ready?
All right.
Okay, look, I'm gonna try and find a place where he hasn't been attacked yet.
Yeah, go to a little earlier in this scene when he's
because it looks like they've already got him in the basement and shit. It's just that's why I said it's so fucking hard for me with this movie because it's been so long since I've fucking seen it to know where to go. Let's try here and see.
Yeah, the coin's not somewhere we're super familiar with as far as watching it all the time.
I reviewed it, so. All right, so this is them distracting him. So this is the plan.
So he's got this kid that he's going after.
Let me go back a little farther. This is kind of the only good scene in the movie where the wife is going to feed a girl to the cloyne. I think, yeah, this might be a good scene to look at and see but I don't think he's fully transformed here yet either. It happens so fast at the end here. Let's see. Because she basically kidnapped a girl. Like, this is a really weird moral moment in the movie. The wife kidnaps this little girl to feed it to the cloyne.
Yeah,
because she thinks that's gonna stop it.
Like that's gonna satisfy it, and it'll be like let her have her husband back or whatever the fuck.
Right.
You're home.
All right, he's not gonna fucking pop out. I don't want to show too much of it. I'm trying to find a fucking spot. You can see my pain here. Like, I don't want to show the whole goddamn scene.
I feel your pain.
I feel your pain.
DJ, I do not know why you picked this monster, but you're a son of a bitch for picking it.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know. You're gonna get what you want.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to know the exact moments and have them timestamp.
Whatever.
Well, the scene under the stairs, that does give me a refresher. The mom is able, obviously, the clone is very distracted. You know, he's got his eye on the prize. He sees that kid. Right. You know,
she wraps a chain around his neck. She's able to fucking pull him.
That's her beheading him there. I mean, but right around in here, he's creeping. Let's see.
Clone is creeping.
Let's see him.
God damn it! Okay. It's fucking Russian sites. They always do that. That's the problem with using these. The play button becomes a. Okay, here we go.
All right, so here's the kid. He's fucking worried about this thing. Okay, there he is, creeping around.
Oh, shit, there's the fucking cloyne, dude.
I'm the cloyne motherfucker, and I'm creeping about.
Wanna eat some tasty-ass kids right now.
He's obviously gonna pop out right there.
Of course.
Don't even do it, kid.
Is the cloyne here?
Yep.
Is it the cloyne?
Okay. Why wouldn't he just go through that? Seemed like he was big enough to pass through that.
Because movie bad.
Because the movie sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's total plywood. It's like even a dude that size could bust through that. It's just slasher movie. Almost gotcha shit.
Yeah.
But whatever. You're not going to get what you want. That's why this is such a bad entry, TJ, because let me see if I can find the part where he's described.
It wouldn't even be a bad entry if you would just be like, yeah, the cloyne sucks. Michael Myers wins. Next.
I'm going to try and find that part in this where he's described.
Yeah, the description. The description of the cloyne.
Where because like this guy goes on a quest to save himself for a while. Here it is.
Yeah, this is the description of the cloyne.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. All right, let's see if it works. Fuck you, Russians.
1, 2, 3 movies.
Yep, you gotta love them.
It lured children out of the villages into its cave. 5 children. 1 child for every month of winter. Over the centuries, the legend of the cloyne was forgotten. He became the clown. His white face and red nose to make people laugh, to entertain children. If only they knew.
What a stupid movie,
man,
dude.
that read. Oh, and the fucking eyeballs.
If only they knew.
Oh, that's such a fucking Pennywise fucking ripoff. It's painful, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I think Michael Myers gets in there and starts insulting the cloyne, dude, until the cloyne shrivels up into a little prune and dies.
Looking at that and refreshing myself about the end of that movie and just how fucking shitty it is, Michael Myers uses the 5 seconds easy that it would take for this thing to dispatch of TJ. And cuts its fucking head off with the sickle and beats what's left of it with the hammer. Yeah, probably killing TJ in the process or finishing him off in the process. It's over. You know what I mean? Reshare your screen, and I want to see the cloyne in the losers bracket, and I want to see him 2 and out.
We'll see. He might fucking. I mean, like he is he is canonically pretty powerful. So,
I know. He's a piece of shit.
Well, honestly, this is a totally different fight. It's all the circumstances. If it's the cloyne versus Michael Myers, that's definitely a more interesting fight.
So, our next battle, and by the way, we've been going for an hour and 9 minutes, and we've only gotten through 2 of these fights. These are taking a little longer than I thought. But
I mean, like that's what do you want us to do?
Hey, I don't want you to do anything.
I'm
just pointing out that it's fucking like we're really taking this fucking seriously. That should be a fucking sign of that shit. All right.
Well, no shit.
Next fucking battle. This is an interesting one for me because this is the first battle we've had of 2 completely human characters.
Yeah, no special advantages, really.
No special powers or anything like that. These are human, not normal human beings. This is 2 humans against each other. So we got Jack Torrance and we got Hannibal Lecter. All right.
Okay.
Jack Torrance, of course, the here's Johnny,
the caretaker of the Overlook Hotel.
John Daniel Edward Jack Torrance is the main character in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining film. Jack is a writer and alcoholic who was driven into madness at the Overlook Hotel. He was driven into madness and attempted to murder his wife and son. Powers and abilities.
Scotty, Mr. Kirk.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that there is a neighbor attempting to interfere in all this?
A neighbor, huh?
A neighbor.
Yes, a neighbor, sir.
Yeah, a neighbor. Jack Torrance is a highly intelligent, enhanced speed. I don't really know if he had enhanced speed. He definitely has the ghosts of the Overlook kind of working in his favor, but they didn't really do too much for him in terms of that. They just made him deranged. His preferred weapon is, of course, his iconic axe, which he could get, but pretty fucking unlikely. He also could land the Overlook Hotel as a location, but also very unlikely. Weaknesses. While very intelligent, Jack is mentally unhinged, an alcoholic, and can be killed in the same ways as any other normal human being. But
he is a man.
Yeah, he is a
yes.
He is a man gone insane.
Hello, Clarice. Hannibal Lecter is the main antagonist of the Silence of the Lambs franchise. He is a brilliant psychopathic killer, infamous for eating his victims. Hannibal Lecter has a genius-level IQ, surgical and medical prowess, enhanced perceptiveness, and is an expert in psychology and psychiatry. Hannibal uses weapons such as knives and even forks, and is willing to take a bite out of his victims if he deems it necessary. Weaknesses. While Hannibal is a genius, he is still a human and can be killed like anyone else. Also, unlike most horror movie villains, Hannibal was captured by authorities and remained in prison for a lengthy period of time. So, let's find out where the battle will take place. Let's first of all get the Amityville house out of the mix.
Get out of here, Amityville house.
Inside a high school. This will be interesting.
Okay.
cool.
It's one of the less spooky locations, but sometimes it's kind of cool when the spookiness spills out into.
It's at night though, so it's not going to be filled with kids.
Well,
right.
I chose this location specifically because I wanted there to be innocent bystanders that could be massacred in the process.
Okay, well, you know what? If it's your episode, okay, so maybe there's a school play or some shit.
I thought we were saying that it was spooky, and so all of these happened at night, and at night high schools are empty.
Yeah, but
Paul, it's a play or something like
this
or
one.
a gathering.
No, this time it's fucking daytime and it's full, and
maybe
they're
a school dance or something, and there's still people.
Well, no, because the prom is already on there because of Carrie.
Oh, okay.
Which she's not in this one; she's in the next one. But whatever.
Got it.
Spoilers.
So
But
inside a high school.
Whatever. We
Got
could
it.
say, I mean, I guess it could be at night, but I kind of wish there was fucking victims for these things to slash.
Well,
through.
there
Maybe
are.
there's at least a.
We can say
Maybe there's at least a night janitor or something.
Schools. Well, there's night events at schools. There's just whatever. There's extracurricular activities. It's not super late. It's like 7 o'clock. There's no kids there.
Let's see if Jack Torrance is going to get an edge or a handicap or neither. Jack Torrance is going to get a handicap.
He already is. He's an alcoholic.
What is his handicap, TJ?
Oh, that's not a handicap. Has to team up with Andy Dick.
Oh,
he's dead.
Yeah, fuck, Jack Torrance,
dead,
dude.
So Andy Dick is there.
You don't even roll the rest of it.
There's a guy that's trying to kill us.
With you.
Hold on.
Don't even roll the rest of it. Andy Dick is going to do like whatever the opposite is that he should do. He's going to get them both killed.
Well, hold on.
It's over.
Well,
he's against Hannibal Lecter.
But Hannibal, you never know what Hannibal might have a fucking disadvantage too, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess fair enough. Does he have to team up with Rob Schneider?
So the weapon that Jack gets is a garrote wire, which is basically a
stealthy weapon used by special forces people that requires dexterity and surprise.
And Jack Torrance probably has the lowest stealth of anyone on this fucking list too.
He literally
low stealth. He has Andy Dick.
He literally runs around wherever he is with an axe, screaming the name of whoever he wants to kill.
So
another way to lessen his stealth is to team him up with fucking Andy Dick. So he literally has like. Everyone's gonna know he's coming a mile a fucking way.
Unless Hannibal just gets some really bad handicap, I don't really see.
What?
Okay, wait,
Jack,
hold on.
Have you heard of
Hannibal?
Fat Fried?
Hold on. Hannibal is gonna get a handicap.
Okay.
So let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what happens to him. Sore from intense yoga. That's not going to make it. This is over.
You know what?
He does that anyway in his
Hannibal's
fucking
keeping in
cell.
good shape.
I mean, I hate to just like fucking. Yeah. I mean, you know, sorry, Jack.
Like, we're not even debating this one.
It's just
so
like
man, it's been an hour and 9 minutes. Dude, you get teamed up with Andy Dick. There's just no way. Hannibal just has all day long to plan. Andy Dick somehow. I mean, all he has for a weapon is basically a fucking piano wire.
Well, Jack,
to fucking try to kill Hannibal. There's just no way.
Jack, you'll get another chance in a minute.
He literally
what
got
weapon would Hannibal gonna get? What weapon would Hannibal have got, TJ?
What weapon would he have got? I guess we could check. Hold on.
I mean, if he gets like,
as long as it's not like a
weapon.
As long as it's not like
the drill guitar
animal.
From Slumber Party Massacre.
Dude, no.
He's fucked. He's fucked. He's just
oh
fucked. There's
my God, Hannibal eviscerates him. He's
just done.
He's having fucking kidney pies for dinner tonight.
I mean, I already fucking put him as the. I mean, it's just
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
The roles just went too far.
Oh my God,
against Jack in this one. Just no way.
I think we have to appreciate how shitty a role Andy Dick was for Jack Torrance, because he literally, like, the only thing worse than an alcoholic is two of them working together. Because they just make each other worse alcoholics. So chances are fucking he would be hiding in the fucking maintenance shed or something, drinking booze with Andy Dick and doing blow and thinking he was a ghost or something that used to live in the high school. And fucking Hannibal Lecter's just going to bust in there with the murder guitar and it's done.
All right.
Hello, Jack. Yeah, Jack's done. Andy's done as well.
The knowledge of death changes everything. If I were to tell you the exact date and time of your death, it would shatter your world completely. I know. Can you imagine what it feels like to have someone sit you down and tell you that you're dying? The gravity of that. That the clock's ticking for you.
That's, of course, John Kramer, the Jigsaw Killer. He's the main antagonist of the Saw franchise. He is a former civil engineer who, after going through several traumatic events, became a deluded and obsessive serial killer with the intention of teaching his victims that life is precious. He's probably the most famous for intimidating his victims by using Billy the Puppet, a special small and red kabuki-like doll. John Kramer possesses genius-level intellect, enhanced stealth, and is an engineering expert. He possesses a vast knowledge of highly designed traps. He has been shown to know how to use firearms, knives, and is shown to know exactly how to lure someone into a trap, even if he is fleeing. He has medical supplies that he can inject into an opponent to induce sleep or make them dizzy/delirious. Weaknesses, of course, he is a 52-year-old man. He has brain cancer, making him weaker than the average person due to that treatment. He can be killed in the same way as any other person. And he's going up against Leatherface, who couldn't be more polar opposite.
The literal polar opposite of Jigsaw is Leatherface, an insane guy that cuts people up with fucking chainsaws, sadistically loves torturing people, wears a dead person's skin on his face.
So get that bitch, Leatherface. Get that bitch. That's Chop Top Sawyer.
Dog will hunt.
Jebediah Sawyer, a.k.a. Leatherface, is the main antagonist of the one of them anyway, of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. He is a cannibalistic murderer that wears the faces of his victims in order to express his personality. Leatherface, this is powers, abilities, and weapons. Leatherface, of course, you know what his weapon is, has enhanced strength and durability. He is excellent in melee combat. His signature weapon is a chainsaw, while he does use a meat hook, meat cleaver, and hammer. So he doesn't always use a chainsaw.
Yeah, so we know he's versatile. Right. Yeah. So whatever he rolls, we have as long as it's an instrument of death, we have a good idea he's going to wield it.
Is Andy Dick also a weapon? Because if he gets that as a weapon, then maybe I'm going to count it against him.
You could swing Andy Dick and hurt somebody with him.
You could.
I know.
Weaknesses. So weaknesses. Leatherface, unlike most of the killers on this list, is not very bright and can actually be easily tricked. He's also just a human being, can be killed. So. We got almost
this is an interesting one.
Polar opposites here, and I think this one is going to really come down to rolls.
It's 100% rolls. It depends on prep time and location and weapons so much.
So let's see what Jigsaw gets. Okay, so first of all, they're going to fight at the Overlook Hotel, which might have helped Jack a little bit, but came too late for him.
Too late for Jack, unfortunately. Doesn't really do much for either of these people. I don't think either of these people is going to be in the hotel long enough to go mad from it. So
yeah,
and fucking Leatherface is already insane. So
yeah,
what is it? What
I mean, they're
both going to do
they're
to
both
him?
already insane. I mean, they've both already
been
corrupted to the point of being murdering psychopaths. So I don't.
Shit, they might get lost in the fucking hotel.
The Overlook Hotel is probably just gonna be like, "We love you." So let's see if what Jigsaw is going to get. Okay, he's not going to get a handicap or a advantage.
Fair enough. That's actually kind of a shit roll for him because he really needed to roll an advantage and have that advantage give him some kind of setup time.
Let's see what kind of weapon he's going to have. He's going to have a shovel at his disposal.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's a deadly ass fucking weapon. You can kill somebody outright with a shovel.
You can definitely
against Leatherface.
I mean, Leatherface is a human being. He's susceptible to getting hit in the head with a fucking shovel.
Also susceptible to being tricked, manipulated, and fooled very easily. So you have to keep in.
So yeah, so we have to keep in mind that there is a huge IQ gap between these two, but there's also a strength gap that favors Leatherface. So
yes,
we will see now what sort of we can get for the rolls for Leatherface here. Also, neither. Interesting.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, what will he get as a weapon? 5-foot chain.
That's not good.
Not the greatest weapon for Leatherface. They both got
no. I was saying that's not good for fucking Jigsaw, dude. Because, dude, I'm telling you, a 5-foot length of fucking chain in the hands of somebody that knows how to use it.
Yeah, you may cut me, man, but I'm gonna wrap this chain around your head.
You could wrap that around somebody and trip them and be on top of them in a second, beating them with a fistful of chain.
Yeah, but this
you can wrap it around their legs. You can hit them with it.
Not his favorite weapon, though.
You ever been whipped with something that normally shouldn't hurt and it hurts really bad?
Yeah.
Think of getting whipped in the face with chain. It will knock you clean out. No, dude, a length of chain is a deadly fucking weapon. Dude.
I mean, of course, I didn't put anything in there that wasn't a deadly weapon. I didn't put. There's no joke weapons like toothpick or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they're all deadly, right? And they're all things I've seen used in horror movies before. But for Leatherface, you know, there's a lot of stuff he could have got that would have been way more to his specs than that.
Where did this take place again?
It's Overlook, the Overlook Hotel. So they're in the Overlook Hotel from the Stanley Kubrick film. Neither of them has any sort of edge or advantage. This is just like you put these two guys in the Overlook Hotel. So I'm going to assume that they probably don't. They're probably not going to start in the exact same room of the hotel. They both know about each other in the hotel, and they're both, you know, looking for the other and trying to figure out some way to get the edge. So like I remember Jigsaw being reasonably quick on his feet. I don't think he has any sort of like, he's not slow or anything. He's not as strong as fucking Leatherface for sure. Leatherface has almost supernatural strength.
So I mean, Jigsaw is clearly he's trying to rig something up.
So
he's trying to figure out a way to manipulate Leatherface. He's not going to go.
The question is, can Jigsaw come up with a clever enough plan to lure Leatherface into a trap or to his death?
And maybe he entreat the ghost of the Overlook Hotel.
I have been thinking about this. The ghosts of the Overlook Hotel clearly need time in order to work their madness on the right type of person.
Yes.
For one of these people, it doesn't even matter. He's already fucking gibbering insane. Yeah. And for the other, they're not going to be there long enough. So here's the thing. Because we can't say Jigsaw had 20 fucking years to set up an elaborate maze of traps and shit.
No, he did not have that.
So Jigsaw's got a shovel. He's in the Overlook Hotel. Okay. He has the acumen and intelligence to see Leatherface and size up his foe. He's going to know by observing him stealthily that he's an oaf. He's going to see what he's armed with. He's going to see him swinging the chain as he walks room to room. He's going to give away his entire fucking game to Jigsaw.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Jigsaw is also in an expansive place that has tons of servant entrances and dumbwaiters and ways for him to move around the house that fucking Leatherface doesn't even know exists because he's a hick from the sticks. He's never even been in a place like this, right? Leatherface like is kind of made by I guess it's an implied inbreeding and just being a total uneducated, retarded hick living out in the middle of nowhere with a family that grooms him that way. So he's going to walk into the Overlook. And not only that, I actually think the Overlook in all its splendor and grandeur is going to be a negative against Leatherface in this fight. Because when he let's say that fucking Jigsaw leads him into the the golden ballroom, and then turns on all the lights and music all at once. You know what I mean? Which is not without of the realm of possibility that, you know, he's going to be able to find that shit and manipulate
I mean, it might be so disorientating to Leatherface that I can see him in there. There's like in that ball. Too much shit going on.
The environment is kind of a little bit overstimulating for someone like that. So I can definitely I can see the Overlook Hotel giving an advantage to. But is there? Like,
it's so expansive.
At the end of the day, though, is that really going to overcome like the brute strength and violence inherent?
Yes.
See, that's the only obstacle that Jigsaw winning I see at this point is how do we plausibly give Jigsaw the fucking W? Like, what is it? How does he rig it up?
Well, let's think about the rooms of the Overlook.
I've got it.
You love this movie,
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea on how Jigsaw wins this, and it takes a little bit of time, not like days that it would take for the ghosts to start working on anybody's mind, so we can't bring that into play. Jigsaw, I think, would see, because like we admitted in the bio that even though he's big and strong and probably pretty hardy because he lives out in the middle of sticks and he works hard and does hard labor and shit, he's a human. He's subject to the same needs as a human has. He will eventually get not only tired physically, but tired psychologically. That is my thing that I think Jigsaw is going to do. Because he doesn't have a chance to rig traps, he's going to use the astonishing beauty and weird nature of the Overlook Hotel and its many gilded hallways and different ballrooms and different bars and game rooms.
I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, the Overlook Hotel, there's a lot of places you can stealthily hide.
Right.
Like,
This is a cat and mouse game for sure, right?
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
100%.
I think he is going to wear out Leatherface with things that look like attacks and give him so many startle responses that he gets that adrenaline crash where you start to get slow. And eventually he's going to have to fucking sit down and take a rest somewhere. And Leatherface is stupid enough to do that. Like, Leatherface tired. And it's at that moment that fucking Jigsaw is going to descend on him with that fucking shovel and hit him right in the back of in the nape of his neck with the shovel as hard as he can. And I don't care how hardy you are. Maybe it just wounds him. But if it gets through to his spine, he's dead. If it breaks his vertebrae, he's dead. If it knocks him out, he's dead.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just walks up behind him and gives him the hardest overhead fucking smash he can give him with that fucking thing. I don't care who you are. Leatherface is a normal human. That's going to bust your brain open. And so also, either way, I don't see because here's what Leatherface winning depends on. Cornering Jigsaw.
Yeah, and it's not a great cornering location because
one of the most slippery people on this list. I mean, Jigsaw is notoriously.
He's a master of evasion. Like that's how he evaded capture for so long.
I mean, the Overlook Hotel is the perfect playground for someone who is evading. Obviously, he's a fish out of water too. He can't just be like, oh, he knows the Overlook Hotel, but
right. But I mean,
he's going to pick it up.
He's so many clues. His genius level civil engineer IQ is going to fucking look around. He's going to assess this place a lot quicker than fucking.
Okay, this is.
Dumbass.
He's going to move room to room. He's going to find all the controls for the lighting and any of the systems of that room immediately. He's going to know what that room is capable of strategically, and then he's going to move, and he's going to build a picture of the hotel in his mind, whereas fucking, Leatherface is just going to be walking around like, let's remember everything he sees.
The conceit of the Saw movies is that Jigsaw is so brilliant that even though he dies in the third movie, of his own design, by the way, the series continues on beyond that just because he laid out so many plans that, like, he can literally kill people from beyond the grave for fucking, years to come. Like, That's the level of fucking genius that Jigsaw is assumed to have. So, I mean, like, I don't know. In a big place like this,
Leatherface
with all kinds
loses.
of, I mean, like, he's just gonna fucking toy with Leatherface and fucking destroy him. I mean,
yeah, if it's in a fucking cell, you know, it's
now,
done. You
is
know,
there a
fucking Jigsaw's done?
The only way Leatherface wins is if he just gets lucky and does happen to fucking somehow corner, like, Jigsaw makes a mistake, gets cornered by Leatherface.
Is that possible? Sure, but I think we're going with the betting man's thing, and we're looking at the odds, and I would give the odds strongly in favor of Jigsaw.
And also, Jigsaw is gonna fucking. I mean, like, the longer he's toying with Leatherface, the more he's gonna have a chance to explore this environment, and the more he's gonna have a chance to put fucking other weapons together. He might not even end up using the shovel.
Yeah. I don't even because he's going to be in the Overlook has a kitchen. It's filled with knives and implements that he could make improvisational fucking traps with.
Things he's super familiar with, and unlike Leatherface, who's not even going to think to like find the kitchen. Like Leatherface is not intelligent enough to be like, I bet you there's weapons in the kitchen. I better go get one of those.
He's already got his weapon. He's like,
I'm like, I got chain. I'm gonna kill with chain because I have chain. You know, it's like, No.
Unless Scotty has a major disagreement, I think, you know, Leatherface goes to losers.
I think this is
Look, I'm a contentious fuck, but I feel it's pretty sound.
Yeah, I think Jigsaw gets this. So
Jigsaw's a toughie on this list because he really is a super ultra genius, so...
I'm going, but I mean, he is physically weaker than some of the others, and I think it's going to be hard.
Oh, shit. Andy's going to face off against our other super ultra genius, too, in the next fucking round.
Right.
That's interesting.
Jigsaw versus
obviously
Hannibal.
With Hannibal in the hotel,
Hannibal
ain't
the same
story
Hannibal ain't no slouch either, so...
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be an interesting one to
the Overlook would have been a great one. I almost wish they would have rolled that one, those two together.
I'll be right back.
So I'm going to switch real quick just to the main screen so let's talk a little bit, Scotty, while TJ's taking a leak or whatever about our next round here. I don't know if he's going to go to losers first, but we can't see beyond winners. So in winners, we got Chucky versus Michael Myers. Off top, this one does not bode well for Chucky with me.
No, man. Chucky, it's like, look, Michael Myers, you know, Chucky slashes Michael Myers. They ain't doing the same thing to Ghostface, you know. Michael Myers just turns at Chucky then and is like, you know, it's honestly that you know, cat and mouse a second ago, like it's gonna be cat and mouse with those two, because if Michael Myers gets a hold of Chucky, he can literally just rip Chucky apart.
Yeah, I mean, it will to some extent come down to rolls, but if you want the straight odds on this one for me, the straight odds are Michael Myers is going to pull the stuffing out of Chucky.
Unless he's saddled with Andy Dick. You know,
but dude,
if you roll poorly like that, maybe. Now, even then, I think you probably win. But.
This round 2 winners bracket, though, Hannibal versus Jigsaw is going to be really fucking interesting.
You know, we can say that, but, you know, that's the unique thing about the way this is positioned, you know. And we've refined these tournaments because the first time it's just like, let's argue it, but then having the location, because there's a location that favors one. Now, Hannibal and Jigsaw, you know, Jigsaw's layers on there, then, I mean, I like Hannibal, but I mean, fuck, then it's so far in his favor.
Of course. Yeah, it comes down to rolls for sure, but if you're doing straight odds in a boxing ring against these two, man, no, how do you call it? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like, the rolls
come down to the rolls.
But if they both roll neutral, or if they both roll pretty decent, then this one could be...
If all things are equal is what you're saying. If you're going to the all things are equal,
which is totally possible. It almost happened in the last one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it could.
They both got a usable weapon, and they both got no...
There's going to be some edge. There's always, I mean, because, you know, it's just kind of the process of thinking about it in the environments. And like, as we got that last roll, it's like the Overlook Hotel, it kind of just came to us like, okay, look, you know, there's no way Jigsaw's running out in this expansive environment going, ah! You know,
right.
like,
no,
he's dead then.
He's going to use the whole hotel against fucking...
I almost see it like you played this game. It's like, it's like Alien, it's the one with like it's like the aliens chasing you around.
Isolation.
Yeah, Alien Isolation. It's like that. It's like, yeah, if you fucking run up to the alien in that game, of course, yes, you're dead. But if you do anything but live.
Question. Do you guys want to go to the loser bracket and advance that, or do you want to do that at the end?
We were just talking about that. We didn't know what you had in mind. It really doesn't matter. We talked a little bit about the upcoming ones just outside of any rolls and shit and how they stack up.
Let's go with the winners, because then we get to the number 1 winner, and then it's like, hey, then it's number 2 winner. You see what I'm saying? And then that kind of gives more suspense for the audience here. So like, hey, this is the winner of this bracket, but they're not the true winner yet.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's go.
Who
ahead
are they
and
going to face?
So the first battle then is Chucky versus...
And we strongly favor. Me and Paul talked about this. Michael Myers, a strong favorite from us. I mean, hey, you never know what
I
the
think
role's
he is
be.
the. I mean, he's probably the favorite overall, but I'll leave the Overlook Hotel in the rotation, I guess.
Yeah, that's too good of a location.
I can't get rid of all these every time. Some of them,
no, that's fine.
Just no back-to-backs.
Yeah.
With us agreeing, yeah, about the ghost not being a factor, I think it's a good location.
Just thinking the blank spot is a fucking option. Hell.
Damn.
You're going to hell, boy.
I mean,
dude, that's an epic
what
location
version of hell?
I
have to ask,
all right,
what
so
version of hell?
The reason I put hell in there was from Hellraiser, so the Hellraiser version of hell. Glad you asked that.
Awesome,
so
dude.
the Labyrinth.
Chilling on Leviathan and shit, dude.
Yep.
So hell is a labyrinth.
Yep. Okay, so which one was it? Which one of those was first? I gotta go back.
Which one of what?
I gotta see.
Chucky's on
Chucky's
top.
first. Okay.
Chucky, yeah.
All right, so let's see what Chucky's stats are gonna be. And Scotty, you're keeping track of these, so.
Yep, Chucky.
Okay, so Chucky gets neither a advantage nor a handicap.
Okay.
Dude.
So let's hope that Chucky gets a better weapon this time. Scalpel. More Chucky speed for sure.
That's a perfect Chucky weapon.
That is a I love that weapon for Chucky.
Okay. So
no handicap and a scalpel.
In hell, damn. No handicap. Chucky with a scalpel in hell. Sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Michael Myers also gets neither. Getting tired of these neither rolls, but whatever. Okay. Let's see what Michael Myers gets as his weapon.
Yeah, we want him
big fucking combat knife.
Oh, God.
Also,
Chucky.
Also a perfect weapon for Michael Myers.
He has the knife of Rambo, dude. He's got like a Rambo knife. And he's got one thing on his mind.
All right.
And that's your fucking ass.
Both of these guys rolled the perfect weapon for them.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so that equalizes things a bit.
They're in the labyrinth of hell, so neither of them knows where the fuck they're going.
Right,
but
that's the point.
I almost feel like Michael Myers is going to be a little more comfortable in that labyrinth.
Well, let's just remember, too, I kind of have a feel that both of these characters almost have like a supernatural ability to navigate strange places and to...
Well, here's the thing.
They need to stalk their prey and shit, so...
If we're going with the canonical fucking version of Hellraiser 2 Hell...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the labyrinth is not just a labyrinth. It is a place where you are tortured by visions from your past that are extra harmful to you.
Sure.
Like there's an implication in Hellraiser that Kirsty Cotton was molested at some point by her uncle.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in Hellraiser 2, she runs into Uncle Frank in the labyrinth and he makes moves on her and tries to get on top of her.
Yeah, I love that scene. That's a crazy scene with all the fucking coffins coming out of the wall and shit.
So here's the thing about that. So if we're gonna fucking make that a factor, which I think you should do.
It has to be. And let me finish. There's one more factor.
Sure.
The labyrinth is also not empty. The Cenobites live there.
Yeah.
So Chatterer, fucking Open Neck, Pinhead, the whole crew are down there too, and they fuck with people too. They want to lure you into their little torture shack. So the labyrinth has like, instead of a minotaur at the end of it, it's got like spooky supernatural ability to play to your psychological needs. Both characters of which have psychology here. Michael Myers has a childhood and shit.
Sure.
It's gonna put him back in that. Chucky has all his failures in his past and all the people that he's killed. He's gonna be faced with them.
Yeah.
And the means to the end is that's gonna be leading him towards the torture dungeon of one of these Cenobites.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to contend with all that shit too.
Sure.
Because that happens immediately as you get into hell.
I do think that Chucky is probably going to be more susceptible to the psychological manipulation than Michael Myers is. Very few of the films, especially the earlier films, portray Michael Myers as having really much of a psychology at all. Like, there's a reason why he's credited in the... I mean, like, if you look at the credits of the original Halloween, he's not credited as Michael Myers. He's credited as the Shape. And the idea behind him being the Shape is that he's not really a human being. He's just like a killing machine that occupies a human form. Now, the
introduction you gave him implied a childhood.
Right. But I mean, like, he murdered his sister as a child and, like, had, like, this blank stare, never spoke a word again, kind of just became... I mean, like... So there are versions of the story that do portray him as having some sort of sentimentality or some sort of humanity to him.
Doesn't
Halloween
Laurie
5?
Strode
I thought we said we were going with Halloween 1 and 2, though. Are we going to consider all the films for this?
Well, you know, I mean, I think that there's some of the, like, Halloween, I mean, it depends on how far into the fucking mythology you want to go, because Halloween, like, 5 definitely depicts Michael Myers as having some sentimentality. There's moments where, Hey,
guys.
What's the name of the psychologist? Loomis. There's moments where Loomis is able to kind of talk to Michael and, like, play to maybe some sort of conflict in him. So, I mean, there's definitely... Michael Myers is not beyond psychological manipulation, but it seems like the evil in him and the drive to kill always sort of wins out over anything else.
Here's the thing that I know about the Labyrinth, and I'm probably not an expert on the Hellraiser universe, but I know more than most people.
Yeah.
The Labyrinth is, if you have a button, it's going to push it. Whether it's a pleasure button or a pain button or a psychological button, it's going to know that already about you and know exactly how to push it. So the question I have for you is, does Michael Myers have a button?
I think he does. I mean, I think his button is that he wants to kill. And I feel like there's some small semblance of him that feels trapped within the monster that he is, that could be played to some extent.
You broke up a little bit.
I was just saying that there's some small part of him that is maybe trapped within the monster that is still human.
Okay.
But Chucky, I think, is more of a raw nerve. Like, Chucky doesn't have very much emotional control at all. He's kind of way more...
He's haunted by his failures in life. He's haunted by the fact that he was killed and one-upped at one point. And he's so determined that he comes back, you know.
I mean, like, canonically, he does eventually accept and actually learn to like being the killer doll. But for many of those films, he's actually very insecure about being a doll.
Right. He's very vain. That's going to be played to him. He's going to appear to himself as he was. You know, like, so this is a fucked up fight. If you'd have rolled any other setting for this, I have to be a stickler, though, because you can't just, like, say the demons are out of town for the day if it's going to take place.
Sure.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
So they're both going to be led in different ways down the labyrinth, maybe ultimately into combat with one another, but they're both going to be tortured in their own unique way along the way before they find each other.
Yeah, we have to accept this. The Cenobites are gonna fucking fuck with them before. Like, I guess they want the combat to happen too, but of course they have to have their taste of pleasure.
Yeah, Pinhead is definitely out of town because he's gonna come into play later. So, like,
Pinhead's out of town.
Pinhead's off doing something else. He's on vacation.
Sure, but the top boss in the Labyrinth is the Lord of the Labyrinth, who sits at its center and controls everything that goes on, including the Cenobites. He is their lord, as well as everything else that dwells within its domain. So the Lord of the Labyrinth stands at the center, and that is the machination which both of these people will be fighting against as they fight each other.
Yes.
Now, I guess for the sake of this, we will say that the machinations of Lull, the Lord of the Labyrinth, are to make these two fight one another. But he's going to fuck with them first.
Yeah, maybe he's promised to release the one that can defeat the other or something.
Sure.
Because neither of them wants to be in hell. But yeah, for some reason, these two are going to come into conflict.
One of them is going to hell, the loser's bracket.
Yeah.
So I think that, so here's where I'm at on this question so far. I already think Chucky is at a disadvantage. Just like taking every other factor out of it, I think Chucky's a disadvantage. But I also think that he's more not as robustly psychologically prepared to deal with the horrors of hell. I think that he has way more insecurities. I think that he has way more emotional volatility than Michael Myers.
You know more about Chucky than I do, TJ, because I'm not really a huge fan of the. So can I ask you a question about Chucky?
Sure.
I seem to remember that he's like a horn dog, right?
Yes, he's
definitely
a
pussy hound.
Oh yeah, he's definitely horny.
Oh, 100%.
And kind of like a deviant too when it comes to sex. Like he's a sadist. And a rapist, right? Isn't Charles Lee Ray like a serial killer?
Yeah,
rapist of women?
I don't know that. I'm trying to think if he's ever overtly. It's never been canonically. I don't think he's ever been like canonically.
But I mean, do you think he did or not?
I think that you could probably pretty strongly imply that he's probably been a rapist. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think you're right, because that is exactly the tinge that this particular version of hell has. It's psychosexual sadism, basically.
Right. And
so he is like, whereas Michael Myers probably.
Let's remember that Michael Myers, the reason he killed his sister is because he saw her having sex, and he actually killed her while she was topless. So there is a little bit of a sexual angle to him too, but that's really never played up in any of the films after that. So, I mean, it comes
down to the 1v1. They're both going to be psychologically manipulated, fucked with by the Cenobites. They are both going to be, every button that they have is going to be pushed, and then they're going to be thrown into a horrible arena that's probably filled with things that will damage them, honestly, like hooks, like fish hooks on chains hanging from the ceiling. And that's where the fight will take place. And I don't think Chucky stands a motherfucking chance.
I don't either. I think Michael Myers.
I see Michael Myers just ripping Chucky apart. I see as
soon as I heard that Michael Myers had that combat knife, even taking hell and all this other stuff out of the equation, I just immediately saw an image in my mind of Chucky impaled upon that knife.
Here's why. Because the psychological torture that Michael Myers is put through, where they bring up his childhood, his topless sister shows up riding a big fat dick, and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do now, Michael?" And he tries to kill her, and the blade just goes right through her, or he kills her, and she just keeps riding the dick. And she's like, "Oh yeah, fucking slice me up, Michael. Yeah, fucking chop me up harder, baby." Like, that's just gonna make him madder. Whereas Charles Lee Ray is going to be drained by it.
Yeah, I think he's going to. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I kind of see Chucky at the end of this being like, by the time that he's done with the torments of hell and actually gets to this battle, I kind of view him as almost being like psychologically imploded by it.
Michael Myers is going to be fueled by it. He's going to enter that meat hook fucking arena, the fish hook arena, like fucking so pissed off that he's going to destroy the whole fucking place. And Chucky is probably going to be beneath his notice at that point. And Chucky is going to come in there bedraggled, conflicted about what he is and what he's done and what the meaning of all this shit is. And he's a doll. He's fucked. Get him out.
Yeah. Sorry, Chuck.
Losers, Chuck.
Yeah,
sorry.
dude,
Sorry, Chucky, man. I just don't think you could do it.
I can't imagine a scenario with this setup when being in hell that Chucky wins. Chucky's fucking gone.
Yeah, Scotty's right. Paul's right. I'm right. It's obvious. Different roles could have come out a different way, but yeah.
It was interesting, though, that as you kind of flip through the Rolodex of your knowledge on Michael Myers, we knew that he would have all these psychological buttons that would be pushed in this particular arena. I'd say we leave that arena in as well.
Yeah, let's leave it in.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll decide. Well, I guess we'll just kind of decide on the go which ones should be retired after their use.
I mean, I think a lot of them should be brought back for the other one too, maybe. Unless they have that as a separate.
It's the same stuff. It's all part of one giant tournament.
Okay.
This is just a different level of the tournament.
Gotcha.
All right, so now it's the two evil geniuses facing off to see who gets the privilege of going up against the Shape. All right,
dude. Before you make a roll, can I just say?
Yes.
That this one comes down more to rolls than I think any other one so far has, because if these guys are somehow left equal in a place on equal footing, we're going to argue until we're blue in the face.
It's going to be tough. All right, let's see where they're going to be. The Dark Carnival.
The ICP Dark Carnival?
Yes, correct. Dead dirty carnies, dead juggalos, walk hand in hand with the Dark Carnival. Yep.
So,
that's
floppy-tittied freaks.
Yep. All those things that you've heard about the Dark Carnival.
Fire breathers, dagger swallowers.
The Great Malenko, all that shit. It's all there. ICP.
Jake and Jack standing over the whole proceedings, juggling the endless sins of humanity.
And, of course, Jay and Shaggy are there. Everybody's there.
Whoop whooping.
Yep. It's all happening.
Cool. So, damn, that's a weird setting.
It is a weird setting for this battle, but that's where it's happening. All right, so let's see. Who was first? Jig was it Hannibal?
Can we all agree that neither one of these motherfuckers gets a neither, or do you want to just leave it to the fucking random?
It's got to be left to the chance, Paul. It's got to be left
to chance. Neithers, man.
Yeah.
Neither, but whatever.
All right.
It is what it is. All right, so Hannibal's getting a handicap.
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit.
Let's see what it is. Some of these are brutal, and some of these are not too big of a deal. So, let's see what he gets. Shot in the ass by Boogie 2988.
All right, that's not good. That's not good. That's not.
Shot in the ass. Damn, Boogie. What the hell, dude?
Hannibal was sitting at Boogie's door like, I know you're in there, you fat little piglet.
Come out, little pig.
I can smell the bacon grease dripping from you. You know, I've eaten a lot of people. My favorite to eat is somebody that has lost a lot of weight. The loose skin adds so much flavor and crisps up so nicely. Knock, knock, little piglet. And Boogie was like, I will shoot you, I swear to God. And he fired one. He fired one through the fucking window, and that was it.
Nailed Hannibal right in the ass.
Right in the ass. That's a common place to get shot, dude.
It is.
But
let's see what Hannibal gets, though. Let's see what his weapon is. A pair of ornate daggers. Seems kind of appropriate.
Love those.
Yeah, very ornate. Yeah, this is a refined weapon for a refined gentleman.
They would make great dining utensils after he finishes off his victim.
Yep.
A pleasure to cut through flesh and eat raw flesh.
What Jigsaw gets. Also gets a handicap.
He already has a handicap. He's cancer-ridden.
He's blazed as fuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit, dude.
Jigsaw's high as a motherfucker.
You know what? In Jigsaw's case, though,
yeah, maybe it helps him out.
This might unlock his, like, a new level of his potential. Plus, he's a cancer patient. He might already be on the fucking gongs.
Let's see what weapon he gets.
But that's still going to be a delayed reaction.
Pocket knife.
Okay, fair enough. Not a great roll for him, but whatever.
I mean, hey, you can do a lot of damage. You can still kill a motherfucker with a pocket knife.
Where is this taking place again?
The Dark Carnival.
Dark Carnival. Yeah.
And okay, who has what for weapons?
Hannibal has a pair of ornate daggers, and Jigsaw has a pocket knife.
And what are each of their handicaps?
Hannibal's been shot in the ass, and Jigsaw is high as fuck, like loopy high.
At the Dark Carnival.
At the Dark Carnival,
dude.
Yes.
I like fucking set up elaborate traps to kill people. I really want to kill myself, bro. What the fuck?
What a fucking strange.
And now I gotta kill this Hannibal dude. What the fuck? I'm gonna die anyway. It's meaningless.
Jigsaw would be like, he'd pull a couple of juggalos aside, and he'd point up. He'd be like, "Look up there. You see all those balls that Jake and Jack are endlessly juggling over our heads? I swear to God, like fucking 200-300 of those are mine, dude. I fucking killed like
so. Let's just point out.
People, bro.
So aside from being shot in the ass, I think this venue is probably like the worst place Hannibal Lecter could possibly be. He's a sophisticate, and he's surrounded by sweaty, disgusting juggalos and floppy-tittied freaks, and just like this is the last place Hannibal Lecter would ever want to be. Yeah. His ass hurts from getting shot, you know.
Oh shit, dude.
Jigsaw's blazed, but so is pretty much everyone else in the pit. So
contest is
my nut, I almost feel like it's like, my fucking nuts itch. I ain't been laid in 7 years. So I smell like a giant fart. How you doing?
Dude, this contest is a fraud, dude. It's ridiculous.
Hey, this is roll of the dice, man.
I don't even know.
I don't feel that even any clearer, dude. I don't feel like any of the rolls helped us. Like, no, I don't know.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't even know how to begin to argue about Jigsaw and Hannibal Lecter.
Dark Carnival
Fighting it out at
Are they both secret juggalos?
While Jigsaw's high and Hannibal Lecter's been shot.
Jigsaw smoked up with the ICP.
Look, I feel like Hannibal got the worst rolls here because he's been shot in the ass, which is way more debilitating than getting high. And he's in a place that he's just gonna hate. Jigsaw might actually kind of vibe with the juggalos because he can be like, they embrace life, you know what I mean, like kind of shit.
Dude, Forrest Gump carried like 8 dudes out of the fucking jungle while he was shot in the ass.
That's
dude.
true.
It ain't that debilitating. It's one of the places that you can get shot, unless we're saying it shattered his pelvis.
No, I'm just saying it hurts like a motherfucker, and it's probably distracting.
Yeah, but Hannibal can deal with the pain. I don't think it hobbles him that much. Obviously, it doesn't hurt, yes, but I think he can fight through the pain.
I think that Hannibal is honestly more handicapped by the venue because I just feel like he's
I agree there.
Disgusted by it and just like these repulsive juggalos.
Maybe he's not disgusted by it though, because maybe those fat floppy tittied freaks are cooking people and shit. And
or maybe he's like an interesting anthropological endeavor into a strange American subculture or some shit. You know what I mean? So
maybe he loves it. I guess that's true. We can't totally discount. I mean, I don't know. You kind of feel like, well, I mean, are we talking about like the Dark Carnival? That's like,
I feel like he would. I feel like. I kind of feel like he would,
Scotty,
the real Dark Carnival, the mythological Dark Carnival, and whatever you conceive of that being, and whatever ICP described it as being.
I see it as an endless carnival with wagons being pulled by like shadowy oxen or whatever the fuck, surrounded by fire breathers and floppy tittied freaks. And if you walk along the carnival's parade route, you'll come along big giant wagons that are sometimes populated by some of the Joker's cards. The Malenko's got a magic show that gets pulled around by it. I think Jake and Jack Jekyll, who I think ICP have said are the most powerful of the Joker's cards in terms of like size and shit, but they're hobbled because all they can do is juggle. So they're juggling over your head all the time as the carnival endlessly goes by.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like it's a place that like Hannibal Lecter would probably look at and say, I have never eaten at this restaurant before. Like
I feel like he would be kind of offended by the crudity of it all, though. Like, the hoi polloi, kind of shit.
Which is why he kills and eats a lot of people. Like, right. He kills and eats a violinist because he was playing off tune and shit,
Right.
So it's like.
So I guess the question is, does this environment even play much of a factor one way or the other? Like, is Hannibal so fucking offended by it that he's like...
I think it does, because ultimately I think it comes down to a one-on-one fight. I think you've got a stoned Jigsaw with a pocket knife, and I think you've got a slightly wounded Hannibal Lecter with 2 razor-sharp ornate daggers.
Yeah, I think Jigsaw's walking through the crowd and he gets knifed, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way that you can conceive that Jigsaw would set up some kind of trap or anything with the Dark Carnival. One of the floppy-tittied freaks isn't going to stop blowing fire for long enough to help him with anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the other thing is Jigsaw doesn't... Hannibal Lecter has been shown in these movies, especially like the Hannibal, to be like kind of able to move through a crowd and vanish and reappear and stuff like that. Whereas Jigsaw, we kind of always see him isolated somewhere. I almost feel like the crowd maybe goes against him. I feel like Hannibal is going to use the crowd to like hide his coming and all this other stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I feel that.
He would probably dress up like a fat floppy tittied freak and blow fire and stuff and have Jigsaw looking for him and then just cut him with those daggers. It's over.
Maybe he fucking shows up. Hannibal is wearing the Juggalo face paint. He stabs him. He's like, whoop, whoop, or something like that.
Whoop, whoop, family.
Yeah, I give it to Hannibal.
Same.
Easy peasy, unfortunately. And in these circumstances, he was just armed way better.
All right. Now it's time to decide who is going to be the winner of the top bracket. But of course, everybody gets a second chance.
Brainless violence versus calculating brutality. Genius level calculating brutality.
But also mortal man against supernatural entity.
That is also true. That's also true.
So let's find out where they. Oh, let's get rid of the Dark Carnival as a setting.
Yeah,
it was kind of a joke anyway.
Yeah, all right.
I figured it was
a dive bar.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So I'm picturing some kind of like late night scene with maybe like a few straggling, pathetic drunks, in it.
I know. Yeah, honky
tonk. It's
tonk.
like the three-legged dog, TJ.
Yeah, place like that.
Is there a band?
No, it's not even good enough for that. It's just like we're talking like real, just like barkeeper and like a few really sad, desperate souls just getting drunk to ease their pain, kind of shit. Like real sad scene. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe there's
Hank Williams. You know,
on the jukebox. Yeah. Hank Williams is playing on the juke for sure. That's 100% happening. Yeah. Let's see. So wait, I always forget which one's fucking first in this shit. So we're figuring out for Michael.
That Hank Williams question may come into play. You never know,
Yeah. So let's see if Michael gets a handicap or whatever. He gets an edge. What's Michael's edge going to be?
Oh shit.
Michael's intelligence increases by 25%.
Damn.
It doesn't really help him much though, because it's not even gonna bring him close to fucking Hannibal. It's gonna make him maybe put him on par with all the dorks sitting around in the room dancing to fucking honky tonk.
I mean, Michael Myers is shown to have a pretty considerable intelligence. He does like lay out plans and stuff, and he comes up with some pretty elaborate kills.
He's a little buff, but
it's not going to bring him to Hannibal's level for sure.
That still helps him, dude. Any advantage, that even can come into play,
I don't think it's going to bring him up to Hannibal's intellect, even close to it.
Well, no, I agree there, but it's going to give him a little boost.
It brings him from clever to, a little more
right.
Clever. I don't know. So let's see what weapon Michael is going to get for this encounter. I will say that I think the venue might favor Michael a little bit too, because it is more of a small place. Pickaxe. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Still pretty fucking brutal.
Ouch. Oof. Oh, man.
Dude, all
right. Hannibal better have a triple god roll here.
All right. Let's see what Hannibal. He doesn't get an edge. He doesn't get a fucking thing.
Oh, no.
So
not good.
Let's see what weapon
he better
he gets.
Get armed with like a fucking.
He gets a normal axe. So it's pickaxe versus normal axe in a tight space with no other edge for Hannibal and what was the edge that and then a slight intelligence boost for Michael Myers.
That's not going to be a big factor here. I mean, Hannibal.
There's not much
fight.
There's not the venue here kind of precludes much. I mean, Hannibal's intelligence probably is not going to come too much into play, but
we're assuming, right, that there's like a magical video game-esque barrier around this place that doesn't let them leave the immediate grounds, right?
Well, we're going to assume. I mean, we don't have to assume that there's a total, but we have to assume the fight at least starts in the bar. Now,
because here's the thing:
spill out into the streets, sure.
If Michael Myers opens the fight, like he will by killing one of the bar patrons to announce his presence, Hannibal's gonna fucking run away.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
Here's what I think. Here's one thing that I think Hannibal has at his disposal that Michael Myers is not gonna fucking come up with. So he's at a bar. Hannibal Lecter could probably easily improvise a Molotov cocktail and try to burn Michael Myers.
Sure.
Because
try to burn the bar down.
Yeah. He might try
There's going to be matches. There's going to be lit cigarettes all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be easily accessible rags. There's going to be, you know what I mean? It's all going to be there.
So I'm thinking that while Michael is killing,
does he have time to do that?
So like how long does it take to whip up a Molotov is the real question, especially for someone like Hannibal Lecter.
I think we need to, because honestly, I think we first need to we need to agree that either there's some kind of mystical fucking barrier around these places or there isn't.
There's no mystical barrier.
Because if fucking Hannibal can lure him out of this enclosed area and out into a more open wooded area behind it, he might have an advantage. Whereas if they're confined to the bar or both compelled by some force to take that it has to end in this bar, well, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. You're saying it's like if they have to fight in the bar, it's a hard fucking bar. Hannibal wins.
A bar is different from like the Labyrinth, right? Or a place that obviously has no exit. But we never really established, like, are they allowed to fucking just run out the front door of these places or jump out the window or go through the back and exit to the kitchen?
I'm not going to have a conceit that says that they can't do that. I'm not going to say it's like a magical place with a barrier. And I
don't think Hannibal Lecter, being a fucking genius, is going to take a look at that fucking giant bull moose that just barged into the room and think that his best way of killing it is going to be improvise a Molotov. Now, he might do that, but I think he's going to try and lure Michael Myers out of the building first. You know what I mean? And then go back and get the Molotov prepared. And then we can say he's armed with a fucking Molotov if you want. But you see the complexity it adds.
But hold on.
If you allow the fight to leave the arena, you know what I mean?
Right. But here's the thing,
it's up to you.
Here's the thing, too, though, is, is Hannibal Lecter necessarily going to take a look at Michael Myers and realize, like, what he's even really dealing with? Like, is he going to understand all the attributes that this fucking opponent has?
No, but he's going to understand the fucking obvious threat, physically imposing threat in front of him and realize, like, this isn't the best course of action.
What is Michael Myers armed with again in this?
A pickaxe.
He is going to walk through the door and kill the nearest sad drunkard who just got divorced, who's drowning in his sorrows listening to Hank Williams in such a brutal and explosive manner that a genius like Hannibal Lecter is immediately going to take a look at, what does he have?
An axe.
He's going to take a look at his axe and say, I'm going to be better off using this to chop down a fucking tree and hope it falls on this motherfucker. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to say, I can take him, Clarice. Yes, I will take him. No, he's going to be like, this is not the one I want to eat right now.
So TJ, you're saying that Hannibal can leave.
Yeah, he can leave.
And he does. He immediately goes to the back entrance.
All right, so
it makes no sense.
All right, so let's assume then.
I'm with you, Scotty. I think we need to establish a video game-esque fight barrier around the immediate properties that we're talking about that exist in the real world.
So here's what happens then. He goes to the back entrance, and the door's locked, so he can't get out.
So he kicks it. Okay. He's physically strong. Yeah. He kicks it open. It's an old shitty bar. It's not going to have a fucking double lock on it or anything. He kicks it open.
Wait, hold on. You just said you wanted a barrier, and now you're having him break through the barrier, so I don't understand.
No. I'm saying Hannibal Lecter. Okay, so he doesn't go through the back entrance. He goes through a window.
Right. Well, I'm going to assume there's no windows in this place.
That's my point. Okay, so it's a windowless, exitless bar.
Here's what I see.
That makes no sense.
Here's what I see. I see a bar. I see a little shitty room, a brick wall. I see a front entrance that runs fucking concurrent to the bar.
I have to feel the arena. That building is it. I think that has to be it.
Hold on. I'm going to fucking go dive bar. I'm going to type in dive bar and whatever the fucking first result is.
I've been in a lot of dive bars, and they have to have a window to hang their big glowing neon sign in to attract drunks to them.
All right. Here's the kind of bar I'm thinking about. Like something like this kind of shit.
That bar has a back entrance that leads to an alleyway.
But you see, there's no windows there.
Right, yeah. But it has a back entrance that leads to an alleyway behind it that the people that work there park their cars behind.
Sure.
It's not going to be locked during service hours for fire reasons.
Right.
So
there's a big long room.
Yep.
And
Michael Myers, Hannibal Lecter is in the bar. Michael Myers busts through the front door and literally turns to mist the first drunk he sees. Hannibal immediately looks behind him, sees the employee entrance that leads out to the fucking parking lot, and leaves the premises.
Right.
And now he's in an alleyway. And now we're in a city. And now we're having a totally different fight, unless There is some fucking outside impetus to force. I'm trying to get you to say this is a ring. Like Hannibal knows he can't escape. You know what I mean? Or
I don't know. We've never implied those rules before, and in fact, like we've had fights that started in like maternity wards at hospitals and ended up in the parking lot of the hospital. You know, so
then this is going to be one of those. Hannibal. There's no way Hannibal is going to face fucking Michael Myers.
So Hannibal's going to get. How about this? What kind of setting is it? Is this a fucking in the middle of a city?
I think this is a. If there's
a dive bar in the suburbs,
I think it's like off kind of in the. I think it's more of like a rural area.
In a small town.
Yeah, like maybe there's some kind of small burnout town. Maybe it's even in kind of a wooded area like Paul was talking about before. Something like that.
All right.
Let's say it's in a small rundown little shithole town somewhere. West Virginia town or some shit.
I think that whatever is outside of it, Hannibal is not going to be dumb enough to think he's going to go toe to toe with Michael Myers in that skinny, tiny little bar. 1v1. He's going to get out and go into the woods, if that's what you want to say is out there. Is there a little town nearby? There has to be, because there's drunks.
Right.
So
let's just say it's like on the outskirts of town. There's some wooded areas, there's some town areas, and Hannibal could kind of go to either one, whatever he thinks is going to work to his advantage, I guess.
Okay, so Hannibal is going to hustle his way towards that town to arm himself better and prepare himself better for this fight. He's going to use his charm and his ability to use different accents and shit.
So how far is he going to get?
I don't think that... Is Michael Myers going to catch him?
Well, Michael Myers, Michael can drive a car. That's one of the things that Michael will do that
so can Hannibal Lecter.
A lot of these people won't do. Yeah, Hannibal can drive a car too. So, I mean, like, the point... At some point, it becomes like they're in a car chase and it's just a run. Okay, fine. You know what? They're locked in the fucking bar then. You know what? If it's just like, if it becomes, I mean, like, it's ridiculous.
Yes,
it's a ridiculous
17 months later, Michael Myers corners
It's
Hannibal
a ridiculous fucking conceit, but yeah, the bar is just an inescapable, everything beyond the bar is a dead zone, and there's nothing out that exists outside of it.
We're talking about a spook house fucking fight that has to take place in a location.
And that's what's happening. There's no fucking, they can't escape. They're stuck in the bar.
Dies a horrible, tragic, splattered fucking death on the floor. His intellect does not assist him in the type of bar that you showed me a picture of. He might wound Michael.
Wait a minute. Because hold on, does he have time to burn Michael Myers? Does he have time to throw together a fucking Molotov?
No.
Does he have time
to do that though?
Does he have time to go to like get down there and chop at Michael's legs or something before Michael has time to put that pickaxe through him?
I think if you're giving him more time than you're giving Michael Myers, then you're giving one an advantage over the other. It has to be that one of them busts into the bar and runs at the other.
Okay.
And I think that the only one of these two that would do that would be Michael. And of course, Michael is going to kill whoever's in his way. And fucking look at that bar. You still have that up?
No, but I can put it back up again. I just typed in dive bar.
You can see the entrance back behind that person. We got to say that
There's very little space to run.
Even if we say that he's at the back of the bar, which maybe why would he be? A smart person would sit towards the front. So if he's closer to the front, he has even less time to concoct the idea to make a Molotov cocktail, let alone do it before Michael Myers is on him with a pickaxe.
Yeah.
It's going to take
why would he assume he needs a Molotov anyways?
So
because that would burn that's true. Why would he? I mean, it would be an equalizer against somebody. He would probably maybe consider it, but would he have time to do it? Not
maybe you could say like some of the alcohol is such a high proof that he can throw it on Michael and light him on fire. I mean,
one of the first things Hannibal's going to do is probably try to move much of that stuff that's off to the side in between him and Michael as quick as he fucking.
He's going to run through it.
But none of that's really like even remotely strong enough. That's like going to slow him down mildly. Maybe it'll trip him up for a second, but it's not going to fucking slow him down much.
Not long enough to grab a bottle of booze, make a Molotov, or concoct a plan to throw. He's just not. He's going to.
Not only that, Michael Myers is going to throw that fucking pickaxe. If he gets close, I mean, if he's close enough to just throw it through Hannibal, he's going to do that. And Hannibal's not going to have. I don't think Hannibal's ever been demonstrated to have the same level of skill where he can fucking throw the axe and put it through Michael. So
Michael Myers will grab one of these sad drunks or the bartender and use him as like a human shield and throw that at fucking Hannibal.
Right. I mean, when we're talking about like he has, I mean, like his raw killing prowess is just better. This venue favors Michael Myers, so I think it's pretty obvious.
Pick up that sad video poker machine that's absorbed the tears of so many sad old men
and
throw it right at fucking Hannibal Lecter's head as he's coming at him.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no conceit that lets Hannibal Lecter win in this environment. It's just an environmental role that went bad for Hannibal. He goes to losers.
Boom. So Michael Myers is the winner.
There's nothing else you can really say.
Of the top bracket.
If they're locked in that venue, there's no fucking way that it goes anywhere.
Now it's time for the losers to get their say.
Okay.
So let's see what happens here.
So we have
first is Ghostface versus the Cloyne.
The Cloyne.
The great and powerful demon Cloyne. Now I think that this favors the Cloyne for sure. So
I mean, maybe depending on role. So I couldn't find a picture of him doing like he couldn't even get through plywood to get that. That's true. Kid.
So dive bar, does it work or does it not? Does it stay or does it go?
Leave it. I think it's great. I think it's like the
it can definitely be an equalizer. Fight. It can definitely be an equalizer. You definitely need some small locations and some big ones. So let's see where these guys are going to fight, though.
There's a little opportunity for improvisation. Ooh, airplane
mid-flight
hallway, and this is inescapable by design.
Right, and this plane too is also full of passengers, which either of these creatures, or well, I guess the Cloyne or the Ghostface could potentially use.
Oh yeah, there's kids on the flight.
There's a kid on every
flight, so that's true. The Cloyne is going to be distracted by the children on the flight for sure.
Yep. And he's going to know right where they are because they're all going to be crying and whining and making loud noise. So
let's see what Ghostface gets. He gets a handicap. Not great for him. Let's see what his handicap is going to be. Oh no, Andy Dick again.
You have to leave him in. There's so many of these. You have to. I know. Dick has to be rolled twice. He's teamed up with Andy Dick on a plane.
Oh no, not Andy Dick.
You know what? Maybe Andy Dick can be a human shield though.
Yeah, maybe Andy. That's true
for sure.
That's true.
He can be a loud ass fucking distraction for sure.
Send him after the Cloyne. Maybe the Cloyne will be scared of Andy Dick.
Hey there, Mr. Fancy Pants. Why don't you come down here towards the end of the plane and fuck me? Look, I'm a little girl.
Oh, he gets that badass guitar drill too. So he gets the drill guitar from Slumber Party Massacre 2, which is a pretty cool weapon.
Of that?
I do. Hold on.
I want to see a picture of it because it's been a while since I saw Slumber Party Massacre.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Shit, dude.
That weapon is fucking killer because it's an axe, it's a drill, it's fucking crazy.
Yes. Okay. So that's a pretty cool weapon for Ghostface. Let's see what kind of rolls the Cloyne gets. He gets neither a handicap nor that. He doesn't really need, does he really need a weapon? I guess we can see if he wants one. He can have a circular saw if he wants. Or he can just use his.
I mean, that does give him some fucking potential to do a lot of damage. You know, that would have helped him get through that plywood to that kid for sure.
Yep. Let me just pitch an idea. The Cloyne sucks. There's kids on this flight. He's distracted by the kids. Ghostface rams the drill through his fucking head, kills him. The end.
I mean, I can't really. Like the kids on the flight thing, we know that canonically he's attracted to that. He's going to try and eat them. He's going to try and kill them. He's not going to be as focused on Ghostface. Ghostface is stealthy. He's going to use that to his advantage. He's going to wait till the Cloyne is feeding on a child, and he's going to ram, like TJ said, the fucking axe of destiny drill through his fucking skull, and then behead him with the other end of it, use it like an axe, and bye-bye Cloyne. And then Ghostface is probably going to continue killing everybody else on the plane.
Yeah,
except for the pilots.
See, can we just have it? Andy Dick is the one that is the baby eaten by the Cloyne.
No, what happens is while that's after that happens, Andy Dick opens the door and everyone is sucked out of the flight and dies. So Andy Dick
either
is actually
that
the
or
worst.
He goes, you missed one last little girl, Mr. Cloyne, down here at the end of the plane. It's me. He's got his shirt all tied up. And
He's got like the
like, hey, it's me.
Mr. Cloyne.
You want to see some titty, Mr. Cloyne? Come on down, Mr. Cloyne. You know, and like that further hampers the cloyne. And
So,
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck
gonna
the cloyne.
Ghostface wins.
Fuck
That's
the cloyne.
somehow
that's it.
Andy Dick was actually useful to somebody.
Yeah.
That's why he has to stay in, because he can help hurt.
You just never know. You never know what Andy might do. He's the ultimate. You never know.
He's truly the wild
He's
card,
the
dude.
ultimate double ad sore, dude. The
Yeah.
ultimate.
Oh yeah.
The
Okay.
ultimate double ad sore.
So,
Oh,
Jack
shit.
Torrance, Leatherface. This is going to be down to some rolls for sure.
For sure, because these are both just fucking out of their mind psychopaths that are kill crazy. So
let's see which. Now we definitely have once again a strength edge for Leatherface and a slight intelligence edge for Jack. I would say more than a slight.
I think it equalizes, honestly. I mean, depending on
shit, hell again.
Oh shit! Welcome to fucking hell.
Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. Let's see. Okay, I think we're rolling for Jack first, right? Yeah. So let's see. Jack gets an edge. What's his edge? Berserker Rage. He kind of already had that, but we'll just say it's cranked up to the max.
Oh fuck, dude! Jack Torrance at 11.
Yeah. So beyond anything we even saw in The Shining, he's just fucking in a Berserker Rage,
There goes that strength advantage,
which means that he's probably about equal in terms of strength with and like we're talking. Berserker Rage is rage, strength, but also a weird sort of like clarity and like mastery of violence. Yeah. So that puts him next level. As for his weapon, a lot's going to depend on this too. Gardening shears.
Oh God, dude.
So
fuck, man.
Crazy stuff.
That's stabbing motion, man.
All right.
You can stab with them. You can cut with them. You can slice with them.
Let's also remember that these guys are both in hell too. So let's see what we get for whatever his fucking name. Leatherface's rolls. Neither. Okay. What kind of weapons he get? Rusty meat hook on. Oh, that's totally his speed. That's totally his speed.
That's his weapon. That's his weapon of choice.
One of his weapons. Well, his ultimate weapon of choice would, of course, be the chainsaw, but he does love that meat hook too. So,
right.
So they're both in hell. So we got to go through the same fucking sort of thing here. How does hell affect both those characters? Paul, you know a lot about the Hellraiser hell. So why don't you opine on that? I'll be right back.
Sure. I mean, you guys know what the Hellraiser hell is by now too, and I don't know any more than you do. I've seen the movies maybe more times than you have, but you know what happens down there. You're faced with your buttons and your fears and everything that makes you feel insecure or scared or horrified or terrified or turned on but you're ashamed of.
I think in this battle you have two people. I mean, Jack Torrance definitely super susceptible to what hell has to offer. Leatherface
psychologically manipulated by the house into killing his family.
Yeah.
So he opened to that already. Leatherface, on the other hand, like he's not totally without any intelligence. He's just real stupid and maybe even mentally retarded or mentally impaired because it's implied that he's born of incest or whatever the hell.
And deformed and other shit.
Comes with mental handicaps. But
does that make him more susceptible to hell or less?
Well, that's the thing about hell is like he has buttons too. Like he doesn't Leatherface kind of like molest and fuck with the women. So he has
Leatherface has and also like the reason he covers his face, or at least I guess you could speculate, is that like he has some sort of insecurities about what he actually looks like. He's probably in some way deformed or hideous.
Right. And so all of that shit is going to be thrown against him as well. So they're
let's
both.
face it, Jack Torrance was already made into what he was by being in some sort of hell of psychological torture and manipulation. And right now he's in the midst of a berserker rage. So I think that kind of shields him a little bit from the effects of hell.
Maybe so. I think you're probably right, but it also, you can't discount that he's a dude that's got, like, Berserker Rage doesn't make you immune from psychological buttons.
No, he's definitely and he's got a lot of demons.
It might fuel his Berserker Rage. His Berserker Rage might actually be more powerful because of the kind of torture and pleasure and cyclical kind of shit that he goes through.
Yeah, it's almost the perfect place for him to feed on that rage and make it more powerful. So
that's exactly what the Overlook does with him. So it's like turned up to a fucking...
Yeah, Hell gives him a buff for sure. It's like he gets a little more powerful going through that experience.
I almost feel like
obviously it's damaging.
I almost feel like this is the same kind of scenario playing out again that we had with Chucky, where I feel like Leatherface is maybe taking more psychological... Well, I mean, they're both taking psychological damage, but I feel like the kind of damage that Leatherface is taking might be more debilitating for his battle ability.
But that Berserker Rage roll changed everything, because being in hell, he's going to get pleasure and denial of pleasure and pain and psychological torture and all his demons, from his wife to his child to his upbringing to everything that fed his alcoholism and all the horrible things he did when he broke Danny's arm. Danny's going to be laying there with his arm all mangled, screaming in front of him. And that's going to fuel that Berserker Rage. That's what the house does to him. It feeds his anger. So like hell is going to do the same thing. He's going to bust into the meat hook arena, the fish hook chain arena, pissed, just like the last fucking fight, pissed off and ready to destroy it. And fucking poor Leatherface is going to be tormented, tired, confused.
Yeah, disoriented.
A blubbering mess, maybe even.
He does have a better...
And also, Leatherface probably won't even understand in any real sense where he is.
Yeah, poor Leatherface is he's just too stupid. I just think that his stupidity, once again, kind of handicaps him in these scenarios.
Yeah,
he does have the better weapon, so maybe that... I mean, like, and meat hooks are his speed, so I don't know. Maybe that kind of excites him or whatever, but...
Even if he gets
an effective fighter.
Even if he gets a hit off on Jack Torrance in a Berserker Rage and does a bunch of damage that eventually kills him, Jack Torrance is going to fucking behead him with that knife first. You know what I mean?
Shears. He's got those gardening shears. I kind of view him just like jabbing both ends of that into Leatherface's eyeballs. Piece of fucking shit! I hate you! You know, I don't know. I'm seeing this round for Jack.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hasn't really been too much of a contention, more of a contention about what the rules are for an arena than there has been over any of these, the actual battles.
Do you agree that it was fucking necessary, though?
Yeah, I mean, you guys kept bringing shit. I'm like, all right, fine. This just has to be the way it is.
Yeah, well, eventually it's like, it's a fucking goddamn miniseries, CJ.
Like if we went the other way, it would have been like, and then Hannibal flies to Spain.
Yeah, it's like, and then he spends a few years in Madrid. I mean, like, maybe we could have gone that direction, but
If you want to, we can go back and redo it.
But... No, I don't. Too much. It's too much. All right. Next battle. Jigsaw versus Ghostface. Let's just get right into it. We know who both these guys are at this point. Where are they going to fight?
Do it.
They're going to the prom.
Oh, shit. This is fucking...
They're taking each other to the prom.
This is Ghostface's home turf right here, baby.
That's true. All right, let's see. I think Ghostface... Oh, no, Jigsaw gets the first roll. Let's see. Neither.
So Jigsaw gonna need a major advantage here.
What Jigsaw gonna get? Pitchfork. Okay.
All right.
Not the greatest weapon for a prom, probably, but not bad.
Good ranged weapon, though.
Yeah, it does give him, and you know,
what was Jigsaw's handicap or edge?
Nothing. Neither.
Oh, nothing. Okay.
Didn't get either.
Damn.
All right. So let's see what let's see what Ghostface gets. Edge. What's his edge?
Oh shit.
Speed plus 15. He was already fast.
Oh, no.
Let's see what weapon he gets. Oh, stuck with a pocket knife, though. Doesn't have a lot of range. So, but, you know, he's pretty comfortable with a knife. I mean, you know, pocket knife, still a good length knife.
I mean, you can fuck somebody up with one.
You can definitely
know how to do that.
Okay, TJ, imagine a crowded prom. Someone has this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This is a pocket knife.
Right, so something like that.
Nothing, dude.
Scotty's got a pocket knife.
You wouldn't want someone coming at you with this.
Especially not Ghostface, who you know is a fucking more than capable killer.
Who has a 15% speed increase, so he's even faster than he was before.
Who was already fast. Jigsaw is already sickly. You know, he's got a pitchfork.
The menu completely favors Ghostface. He has a speed advantage.
Yeah, but Jigsaw
some random dude with a pitchfork,
which honestly is going to be super distracting for people. Like some dude with, I mean, you got to remember how the crowd is going to react. Like some old dude with a pitchfork is in their prom. Everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? People are going to be getting away from that.
Well, we have to keep in mind, too, that this is kind of Ghostface's home turf. He terrorizes high school kids. That's his thing. So he's going to, when he runs into the room, he's going to cause a stampede of people that aren't going to care about fucking an old man with a pitchfork standing there. They probably won't even see him. And he's going to get fucking knocked over because he's old and sickly. And in that fucking confusion, using his 15% speed, Ghostface is just gonna fucking put that knife right in his eye, and then what? You know, it's over.
Yeah, there's no way. This is the worst map for fucking Jigsaw to get.
I feel like it favors. So is there any opponent? Is there any sort of plan Jigsaw could concoct on the fly that might give him some kind of advantage?
Dude, Jigsaw is fucking worm food.
He needs time to make things happen. Like he had time against Leatherface.
I'm surprised that he got his
whole hotel.
Honestly, with as much pre-planning as he really needs to do stuff, I'm surprised he got as far as he did.
Okay, so listen.
Yeah.
Maybe we're shorting him. Before you hit submit score, let's think this one out.
All right.
Let's at least give him his due diligence, because the prom, I've been to one.
Yeah.
It either takes place in one of two places, and I guess it's up to you to decide what. The high school gymnasium, which is the traditional prom. But my prom, and this was back in 1998.
They ran a big venue.
I went in 97. It was at the Selland Arena.
Yeah, see, that happens.
A room, but the Selland Arena is a giant arena complex.
Well, the prom that I was thinking of was the one from Carrie, because I pulled it because Carrie is going to be in the
prom.
So this
would have been a high school.
This is going to be. This is basically the venue we're talking about here.
So does our border include just the prom and its activities? Our weird video game fight border, or does it just include the school?
Okay, so I feel like it includes, because we already have high school as a thing, so I don't think it should include the whole school, but I think it could include like the stage and maybe some kind of backstage area as well. So maybe Jigsaw might fucking go backstage and find it more. I mean, like, there's lots of stuff that he could play with back there, like sandbags and, you know, scaffolding and shit.
I mean, that depends. The one from Carrie, you are all right. It did have like a full rigging for like a little theater in it. So.
Right, because that's how they got up there and put the bucket and stuff. So there was like a whole like theatrical kind of backstage area that maybe Jigsaw could use to his advantage.
I mean, he could, but he would need time. He does not have.
Could also get away from the initial carnage by going backstage, because I'm telling you, the backstage areas of those high school things, I spent many years in it because I kind of had the same kind of thing in my high school experience, and I was a theater dork. There's a lot of shit back there that you don't understand. It's not just a tiny, tight little corridor. No. There are storage rooms, prop rooms, makeup rooms, places for the actors to be, different fucking areas that are cordoned off.
Yeah. So the question is, can Jigsaw MacGyver some shit with his engineering skills quicker than Ghostface can get to him and put a knife in him?
Good question. So I can tell you guys the type of shit that would be back there outside of your sandbags. And we're keeping in mind, too, this is the 50s.
Sure.
So it is altogether likely that there's some kind of cleaning closet back there. So you're talking chemicals, box openers, caustic things to clean toilets with, brushes, anything kind of improvisationally you can think of that would come out of that. There's going to be a bathroom back there as well. So toiletries, anything that comes with a bathroom is available to him. Okay.
Right.
There's also, well, I mean, the bathroom is debatable. You never see it. I'm assuming based on my experience, and we had a big back area, so I'm limiting it to just shit that I think is in most of these places.
I mean, I feel like I remember kind of the backstage area from Carrie in my head a little bit, and I don't remember there being like necessarily a bathroom, but there could be a bathroom back there. There's probably some kind of cleaning supplies. There's definitely theatrical props and shit.
Props, costumes, theatrical props. There's going to be, like I said, the storage closet.
Is that going to give him any sort of advantage? You know, that's kind of the determination.
I mean, Jigsaw,
maybe there could be something, but yet again, he needs that time.
Is Jigsaw going to? Yeah, I mean, like, so Ghostface pops in there. I mean, do these students know that Ghostface is a threat? Are they panicking because they see him, or are they just kind of like, are they just kind of like, whatever, you know, it's some dude in a mask? Like, do they even give a shit? You know what I mean?
It's his home turf, so I think we have to assume that it exists in his universe where the kids are all terrified of him because he's picking people off, and they, you know, the sight of him is going to cause fucking terror.
Okay.
I mean, unless you disagree, was this not considered to be Ghostface's kind of home environment?
No, I mean it is. I'm just not sure like what level of awareness we want to give the people in the crowd. This is the kind of question we have to decide on the fly because, you know, obviously not everything can be nailed down.
Well, we're assuming they both came here of their own volition. Ghostface isn't the type that is just bust into the prom and nobody knows who he is.
Right.
That's not his reveal. He would kill a few kids first before he shows up to slaughter the rest, you know?
Well, if that's the case, then that does give Jigsaw some time to go into that backstage area and maybe try to whip something up.
So it also gives Jigsaw time to assess the environment. I think it's better that we limit that backstage and not make it some giant complex. So let's say there's not a shitter back there. Maybe there's a green room or a place for actors, because if it's a stage that's rigged like that, there has to be a backstage area for actors to go.
Right.
Back there. Or some adjacent building that's going to be open and accessible back there for actors to go.
So, you know, is he going to go up and try to, I mean, like maybe he's going to try to whip up some kind of like chlorine gas or something, which is fairly easy to make. Maybe he's going to.
Would Michael Myers even be fucking susceptible? Or who's he going against?
Ghostface.
Ghostface. Yeah, Ghostface is a normal human under there.
He's a normal human being.
There's cleaning supplies back there for sure.
He has to disperse it in some way, though. So he has to have like some sort of element of either surprise, and even if he does create that, I mean, it's gonna have to like. I mean, I don't think the impact he's gonna make with some high school like fucking cleaning supply is gonna be like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it burns.
But I mean, like if it's like
he's wearing a mask too, you know? So is that gonna necessarily burn his eyes as much?
Well, I mean, his nose? Hold on, let's look at the Ghostface mask here.
If you're gonna make an argument that Jigsaw strategy, he's gonna use some kind of like chemical, cleaning shit.
It's kind of unclear how this mask works. Like I imagine that this black stuff is some kind of mesh that he can see through.
It has to be mesh that he can see through. And in fact, people own these masks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Close to what you can buy.
Yeah, there has to be some way. So it is breathable then to some degree.
Sure.
And probably pretty well breathable because he has to chase girls all over the place. So you wouldn't, you'd want it to be real nice and ventilated. It's even got a thing for his nose so he can get air there as well. So he's definitely going to be susceptible if, Jigsaw can use the chaos that fucking Ghostface busting in causes with the kids trying.
Ghostface also is faster and faster by 15%. I mean, that's significantly faster. So it's gonna be very hard for So the plan's got to be perfect because he's got to be totally susceptible. I don't know if he put together a plan that quick.
Even if Jigsaw just goes back there and is like, just grabs some kind of fucking cleaning agent or something and just throws it at this dude's face, maybe he gets a lucky shot and blinds him or something. What
about this? What if Jigsaw runs back there, sees the cleaning closet ajar, knows that his best bet is to fucking go in there and mix something up, locks himself in it, locks the door
to give himself some more time to mix something up.
This dude isn't super strong; he's super fast, but it's going to take him a while to bust through a fucking door.
Yeah. Meanwhile, maybe Jigsaw is mixing some stuff together in like a little fucking spray bottle or something and just gonna spray him in the eyes with it when he fucking there's a hole.
But if he moves, he dodges that mask and hits the top of that, then it's not gonna do anything. He might have a chance to kill him.
Remember, if Jigsaw is mixing all that stuff together in just some bucket back there, like he's gonna have something to protect himself from it while he's doing it. Because that whole little area is
if he's stuck in there, that's true.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So he'd have to do it in some sort of more limited capacity.
I'm thinking less of him mixing up something that's toxic that would kill him outright, more of something caustic that would definitely seep through that mask and get on his face.
Yeah, something he could put in a bucket, and then when when Ghostface breaks through enough of the fucking door, he fucking splashes him with it. It's like, my eyes and shit,
Right. And then at that point, what does he have for a weapon again? What is Jigsaw got?
He has a pitchfork, so he could fucking easily come out there and jam it through Ghostface's midsection or something.
I mean, is there any reason you see why that wouldn't be feasible? So Ghostface busts in, all the kids go ape shit.
Well, let me ask you this. If we were watching this as a movie, what would be more interesting? Ghostface runs up and just kind of stabs him in the chaos, or what we just described? I think what we described is a more compelling fight.
Which means Jigsaw wins, probably. Like, if he's got access to...
I mean, there's a lot of discounting of, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is more interesting, but it seems a little more far-fetched, in my opinion.
All right,
well, he's a super genius that can cook up these fucking devices and plans. He knows everything about chemistry.
Yeah, but he's doing under stress and pressure, and, like, I just don't think, like, oh, he's going to mix up these chemicals that may or may not be behind a theater room. Maybe. That's a big maybe. He mixes that up. He gets a perfect shot on a guy who has a 15% speed buff who could easily just dodge that and, kill him.
We got to assume that this closet
you guys are assuming 100% accuracy with his throw. Like, how we know if it's projected, there's no guarantee.
All right.
Or maybe he rigs it to where when the door opens, it just dumps on this dude's head.
Okay, well, that's a better thing there. If it's like, but is he necessarily going to keep falling? Maybe he waits him out. We don't know if he's necessarily going to pursue.
Well, hold on,
but we're assuming he pursues.
Hold on, let's assume this. Okay, I mean, like, if
he knows where he is, why is he going to give him all that time? Even if there's panic, why is he going to give?
Well, he's not giving him time. No, he's not giving him time. Jigsaw has locked himself in this closet, so it's going to take Ghostface a minute to break through this fucking closet.
Ghostface is a normal human being. He's not a super.
Okay, well, fair enough. Let's say it takes him a minute or 2 minutes to break down the door. Whatever you guys think is fair.
I think about 2 or 3 minutes, probably.
I think that a normal, average human being could beat on the fucking locked closet door for an hour and not get through it.
Well, we got to assume some kind of special ability on the part of Ghostface. I mean, like, he's not a supernatural being, but, like, horror movies kind of give these characters larger than life attributes. So I think that he could get through the door in a reasonable amount of time. But I also think that Jigsaw has a supernatural IQ and can do mental feats that normal people are not capable of either. So this comes down. This comes down once again to brains versus brawn, and also speed. Because you got to remember, Ghostface is very fast in this scenario, and he's pretty fast in the movies. He's even faster here. You know, I think that this could go either way. But if we're gonna have the conceit of this closet that has these chemicals, I mean, even if it doesn't have the chemicals, like, the time it takes Ghostface to break through that door.
Okay,
you know,
so
Jigsaw could just stab him with that fucking pitchfork through the door. I mean, remember, he has a longer range weapon. If he can slow Ghostface down,
well, yes, I could see that.
If he can slow him down, if he can do anything to slow Ghostface down, he has the range weapon.
Well, interesting enough, you guys have not mentioned this. Those chemicals could be super slippery. He could fucking fall when he enters, and then he could be stabbed.
Yeah, I mean, like,
of course.
So there's lots of little.
Here's another thing too. Here's another thing. Hold on before you move on.
Go ahead.
About the setting, we're just assuming this is backstage, but this takes place in the high school gym, which is also the cafeteria. So there's an adjacent little kitchen in an old school. That cleaning closet could be back there. So there's definitely cleaning supplies on the fucking prom grounds.
There's definitely slippery look, I think that if you give Jigsaw a big space and enough to work with, we know that he's a super genius. We know that he's an engineering marvel. We know that he's able to come up with quick, crazy plans on the fly. It's just a matter of, does Ghostface get to him and kill him before he can fucking put some kind of plan into motion? I feel like
Ghostface doesn't have to get very close too, because he has.
He's got a pocket knife.
So that is
you know.
Ghostface has.
I mean, maybe if Ghostface had abnormal speed to begin with, like if he was just so fast, you know, like a character like that, where it's like, oh, he's just super fast, and you give him 15%, then maybe it just doesn't matter.
Here's what I feel. I feel that even if the scenario that we laid out isn't what takes place, I feel like there's enough in this environment and there's enough like chaos going on that to slow Ghostface down naturally, even with the speed buff, that I feel like he's going to come up against some obstacles. And I feel like Jigsaw is going to come up.
Wouldn't Jigsaw have the same obstacles, though?
Jigsaw is going to come up with something.
Yeah, Jigsaw,
I mean, so if the crowd is slowing him down, it has to slow Jigsaw down, too.
One of the hallmarks of intelligence is being able to solve problems. So Jigsaw is not hyper intelligent. He might be more intelligent than your average bear, but he's not a genius.
Well, Jigsaw is.
I meant Ghostface.
Yeah.
Ghostface. Sorry, I get them. I get
Ghostface is clever. But he's
clever,
not,
but he's not
a genius. Jigsaw is a genius.
Jigsaw is naturally going to be better at dealing with that chaos and coming up with a plan that uses that chaos to his advantage than Ghostface is.
Well, it depends if Ghostface has a plan to who creates the chaos? Is it a mutual, like they both walk in and chaos ensues, or is it one decided they're both there? Then who's instigating the chaos? Because if Ghostface is instigating it, maybe it is to his advantage. If Jigsaw is instigating it, maybe it's to his advantage.
Put yourself in the position of some kids at a prom, right? If a dude walks in, if there's some creepy ass old dude with a pitchfork, you're gonna fucking give that dude a wide berth. If there's a creepy ass dude wearing a fucking ghost mask and has a knife, you're going to give that dude a wide berth. Both of these guys are going to be scary to these fucking kids that are just like having a prom.
Well, here's the thing too, is what I'm saying.
We already established too, I asked TJ, does this take place in the Scream universe? Yeah. And you said yes. This was supposed to be his home turf in the Scream universe.
Right.
Which means that he's already feared by all the kids in the building because he's already killed a couple of their fucking classmates and shit. So they're gonna run when they see him. The old man, they'll give a wide berth, but they're gonna fucking go ape shit and try and leave the building when he comes running out with a fucking knife and stabs somebody.
Especially if it becomes clear that these two are like interlocked in some kind of battle, like these kids are gonna be fucking scrambling every which way trying to get out of here.
It does if Ghostface is so much faster than Jigsaw, does Jigsaw even make it to the closet to begin with?
Well, here's my thing. If we're in a big auditorium, I'm kind of assuming that these guys are probably starting on opposite ends of this auditorium. Like, I'm kind of picturing...
Well, if it's a place like Paul described, then that's feasible then, yeah.
Right, I feel like...
being faster,
I feel like you gotta
give...
There's
that much shit going on, it's plausible that someone could get behind a thing.
I feel like because of... Like, if you're gonna have them just be in closed quarters, then, you know, like, that's what the small venues are for. I feel like if there's a large venue, you got to assume that there's some space between these motherfuckers to start.
Well, but it also depends on the speed too.
I just watched fucking Back to the Future, which has that famous scene in the prom, and that place is huge. Like these old gymnasiums had basketball games in them, so they had to be like they were basketball courts. They were fucking oftentimes
and shit. Yeah,
the assembly room for all the whole school would go there. So these are big fucking buildings.
So they can hold them in.
They have a lot of little side buildings, and the janitors are often based inside of that place as well, which is why I'm saying cleaning supplies are not only going to be there but abundant, because that's just like the way these old schools worked.
Well, the cleaning supplies might be. Well, the thing with me too is the cleaning supplies might be more accessible. They might not be behind the stage.
Well, here's another thing.
So if you guys want to say he ran,
honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm liking not so much the idea of Jigsaw trying to use cleaning supplies to blind Ghostface, but to slip him up. I think just like getting some soapy water between you and Ghostface, and then using that fucking range weapon to impale his ass. Like I think something like that would
like the most strategic path to victory there.
So the real question
depends. Like
to me, it's kind of a coin. To me, it's kind of a coin flip as to whether or not Ghostface can close that gap before Jigsaw can set up the trap.
There are also shoes you can wear. I know this as a fucking former food service worker that it doesn't matter if you've got soapy water on the ground, you can run.
I don't think. Are we gonna have the conceit that Ghostface is wearing those though?
Well, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Ghostface is clever, and he's suiting up to go kill people.
Also, canonically, though, Ghostface falls down a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Got me there.
You know what? He slips and falls on his fucking face.
Yeah, like we literally see him do that throughout those films. So I think that it's not too far fetched to believe that he's going to be slipped up by something and fall.
Then we got to give it to fucking. We got to give it to Jigsaw. Then
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think. I mean, and it really just kind of for me, and maybe this is a bad criteria to use, but I think it's more interesting for Jigsaw to win.
There's a number of other improvisational weapons in this area. He's not just limited
the making the chemical thing. The making the chemical thing, I wasn't on board with that, but I can see something as simple as just you slip and bust your ass, and then you're stabbed.
All right. He's got a pitchfork. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like what do you do? You know, that sounds like a pretty fucking plausible trap. So, you know, I think Jigsaw.
Probably our most.
You guys convinced me on that one.
But I think Jigsaw can take it. But I mean, I almost fucking wanted to flip a coin on it because I could almost see it as a 50-50. But I think
I'm gonna go in the dive bar. It would have been Jigsaw. I'm not
Jigsaw is not going to go out without trying something, and we're probably thinking of stupid ways. He's going to come up with something that's even more brilliant, right? We're thinking of the we slip on banana peel, go boom. Jigsaw's like the most fucking Machiavellian trap maker that ever existed.
Yeah, he does some like electrical system.
So I mean, like
in the room,
the shit we're coming up with.
Shit.
Yeah, he's gonna come up with something better, probably. So.
Yeah, but we're dumb, so it's a banana peel.
Banana fall on bottom, didn't stab.
Hey, you know, it's effective though. It's dumb, but it's effective.
All right. Next up.
Gazoon type.
Excuse me.
Who's up next, TJ?
Next up is Chucky versus Jack Torrance. Poor Chucky.
Oh shit, dude.
Chucky. Both of these guys have not had a great run of luck.
Both of these guys are psychologically tortured anti-hero characters. Both of them are kill crazy.
So let's see.
Murder.
Let's see where they're gonna fight. A spooky forest at midnight.
This doesn't really. Well, I guess it benefits Chucky a little because he's small.
Yeah, so
you can get him shrubs.
Chucky's size might be an advantage here. Let's see. It's going to depend on. Let's see if he gets.
And it's midnight.
Chucky is going to have a handicap though, and what's that going to be? Filled with sudden self-doubt.
Not uncommon for Chucky. Chucky has had bouts with this in the fucking movies. I remember him. He had one in the fucking Asylum one that I watched.
Yeah, this is Chucky has insecurities, man. He's relatable like that. Yeah. Let's see what weapon he gets. Hopefully Chucky will get a weapon that is going to be conducive to him and not like, something gigantic that's going to be hard for him to wield.
Yeah, like a broadsword.
Machete? That's on the edge, but I think Chucky can handle it. It'd be like kind of like
I think a machete works for.
It'd be kind of like
a little
two-hander.
I think he'll be a little slower with it, but I still think he'll be effective with it.
It's going to be like a claymore for him, but yeah. I think he could.
It's like a two-hander for him, dude. He'll swing it with both hands. He'll use it like a baseball bat. He'll handle it fine. A machete is fine. He has the strength of a normal man. Remember,
right. So yeah, he should be all right. It's going to be a little awkwardly large for him to wield, but nothing too crazy.
No.
All right, so let's see what Jack gets. Yeah, we already know that.
Does he get a handicap?
Jack's going to get an edge.
Not Berserker Rage
Strength
again.
plus 25.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So, and what weapon does he get? 5-foot chain. Okay. You could definitely use that to slow Chucky down if you get him.
Yeah. You could whip it at him too. I mean, as he runs at you. Chucky
filled with self-doubt. Does Chucky even want this fight? Does Chucky even need this fight?
Chucky's kind of, he's filled with self-doubt. He's like, oh, fuck, I'm just a piece of shit little doll. I fucking suck. God damn, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just fucking.
Here's a big question.
Oh, man.
We're talking about they're in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Jack Torrance dies of exposure.
That's true.
At the end of. So the woods are cold at night.
Yeah. But are they frigidly cold?
Dolls don't fucking give a fuck about cold. So Jack Torrance is going to be hampered by this. It's in the dead of night.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out the temperature of these woods. All right?
Okay.
So we're going to assume that these woods are somewhere between 0 and 100 degrees. Does that sound fair?
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
Pick a number between 1 and 100. 33 degrees. So it's cold.
Okay.
Just above freezing.
So
it's not probably enough to kill him, but it is enough to.
Oh, dude, it's enough to kill him if he's exposed to it for long enough. See, that's the thing. Is like, I don't think that Chucky could just hide in a fucking shrub and wait for this fucking maniac to get so cold that he has to sit down and he's shivering and he's all fucking hampered by it. And even with his,
it's gonna be very bitter.
Yeah, and Chucky's not going to be hampered by it at all. He's going to have a machete. He could just bide his time and taunt him and wear him out. Chucky also not hampered by getting worn out. He can run all fucking day and night, so he can just like, I'm over here, you big dumb fuck.
Let's remember
taking stupid swings.
Let's remember though, Chucky's not really feeling this fight. He's kind of like, oh, fine, I guess. I mean, he'll still do it, but he's not really going to take that usual Chucky delight in his killing. It's going to be more.
Get Jack Torrance maybe try to turn on some charm to Chucky to get Chucky to come out. Like, come on, Chucky,
come out, little dolly, come out and play with Jack. It's me, your friend Jack. Come on, little dolly, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to cuddle.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean that is not going to work on Chucky.
Yeah, I didn't.
It might, especially if he's filled with self-doubt and Jack's playing to that, I mean.
I like it, Chucky.
I don't think so, bro, but whatever. If
Come
you
on out, Chuck. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the conceit here, too, is Chucky going to hide the whole fight? Is it just like, I'm going to wait and hope, he just gets tired and sits down?
33 degrees.
It's very cold, too, though, so that is going to wear on Jack very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, 33 degrees is punishing, but it's not probably like, you're probably not going to die of exposure at 33 degrees. It's not even below freezing. It's right at the cusp.
That's pretty harsh, though. I mean, like, it's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's going to definitely, after a while.
Now, if it was like 70 degrees, then, he's fine.
Your body is going to work extra hard to maintain its core temperature. You're going to need more water. You're going to need more food.
Yeah, and I almost feel like Chucky's self-doubt might actually be kind of an advantage because he's going to be less eager to go out and fight. He's probably will just kind of like lay low and just kind of like mope.
And Jack doesn't have the best weapon. A 5-foot length of chain, I mean, that's not going to really... I mean, that might slow Chucky down.
It's hard to even honestly kill Chucky with a chain because you can't... I mean, you can bludgeon him, but like... He's like a doll.
Well, maybe the conceit is Jack uses the chain to take the machete to kill Chucky with.
I mean, yeah, he could definitely take Chucky's machete at some point. I think it's more likely that Chucky waits for the opportune moment when Jack is worn out and just kind of drives it through Jack's fucking midsection.
I think that makes the most sense.
Maybe even just
that
fucking
weather roll
stabs him in the fucking dick or something. I don't know. Yeah, I do feel like the environment kind of benefits Chucky. It's easy for Chucky to hide in such a vast forest. It's hard for, like, Jack is just going to wander.
It's at midnight, too, so, it's fucking pretty much pitch black.
It's fucking freezing-ass cold.
By the way, he rolled high on, like, forest at night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the desert is colder than that at night.
Sure. So I would go ahead and say, it depends on where the forest is, too. I mean, there's different climates, but
yeah.
I mean, is it a Joshua Tree forest in the middle of the desert?
Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. It's 33 degrees, which is pretty fucking cold. I think that
I think with everything that's happened, I would give it to Chucky.
How does Jack Torrance canonically die? Chasing a small person through a fucking maze of bullshit in a cold ass, in a cold ass environment. I mean, like, this is just a repeat of how he dies in the movies. I think you got to give it to Chucky, who's a hell of a lot tougher.
Unless Paul wants to make a case for Jack.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack, you didn't win one. Oh, I guess you did. You beat Leatherface, so you got to that. So whatever. You beat Leatherface, Jack, but you couldn't beat no one else. True. All right, Chucky versus Jigsaw. How's this going to play out?
Dude.
The Ancient Swamp.
Fuck.
Which one are you picturing? Like, what do you...
So the Ancient Swamp, from my mind, was kind of the swamp from Pumpkinhead. Like kind of where the witch's shack is and stuff.
Like the old bog.
Yeah. Like an old nasty bog.
The old bog.
So
out there by Hoghead Holler.
Jigsaw. Will he get an edge? Will he get a handicap? Will he get neither? You know what? Since this is the finale, let's just take neither out of the equation. What do you say?
Yeah. Sure.
We'll get.
Let's see, because he gets an edge.
He gets an edge.
Cool.
What
does edge be?
Get surprise attack.
Oh shit!
And that's
dun.
Jigsaw gets the surprise.
That's not good because that implies that he has time to set some shit up.
Let's see what he gets for a weapon. Yeah, that fucking I'm taking the pocket knife off of here. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this fucking pocket knife because it's come up like 90 goddamn times. I'm sick of it.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, pickaxe. Whatever. That's come up before too, but at least it's only come up once. Yeah. Pocket knife has come up like 8 times. All right, let's see what Chucky gets. Handicap.
shit.
Oh, that's not handicap.
Yeah.
Underestimates opponent. Oof.
Oh shit, dude.
Uh-oh.
And what does he get? The garrote wire. That's hard for him to use too, unless Jigsaw's sitting down.
Yeah,
I think this is a route. I don't think there's much of a chance here.
I don't really think that there's a fucking argument to be made here.
All right,
Jigsaw is gonna fucking
which means that the two intellectuals of the crowd get a rematch to decide who will face Michael Myers
in the finals of the fucking welterweights, dude.
Yep, and I think, yep.
Wow.
See, and then this could be a rematch between Mike and Hannibal too. If Hannibal was to win this, let's see who's going to win.
It's always comes down to the roles in some way, shape, or form. We're trying to get creative and figure out how, but it's always come down to the roles in every one of these.
So Camp Crystal Lake is where this battle will take place.
Okay, fair enough.
And let's see, Hannibal, will you get a handicap or will you get an edge? Handicap. Fuck, Charlie Horse.
Ow. Oh, man. Even a mega genius has to fucking bow before the power of the Charlie Horse.
And he's got that useless ass 5-foot chain. It's not totally usel's, but compared to some of the other stuff on here.
Off the list, too.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
5-foot chain.
You've had, I don't know why this thing favors you so much. You want to
corn pop.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, roll again. Fuck that 5-foot chain. It's come up twice.
Reaper Scythe. Okay.
Better.
Shit.
So he's got a Charlie Horse, but he's got a Reaper Scythe. And, there you go. Charlie Horse don't usually last too long, 20 seconds usually. But
it's actually a crude tool, usually used to harvest food.
Yeah, so Camp Crystal Lake, Charlie Horse.
Ironically,
Scythe.
That's exactly what it'll be used for in this instance.
Edge for Mr. Jigsaw. What is his edge going to be?
Oh, boy.
Snorted 5 lines of coke, hyper focus, and high energy.
Okay, so I get it. Like, because if he actually snorted 5 lines of coke, he'd probably die. So
Yeah,
well, he's a major coke fiend. He's got a coke habit. Where do you think he gets all that focus from?
He's got hyper focus and high energy.
Yes.
And okay, so who's got what now? Let's get a recap of who's got what.
Hold on, we gotta figure out what his weapon is first.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's got a chainsaw. All right, so that's what we got. So we have. So this is at Camp Crystal. Right, yes. So they're at Camp Crystal Lake. Hannibal Lecter has a Charlie Horse, but he has a Reaper Scythe. Jigsaw has increased focus and increased energy level from snorting some coke, and he has a chainsaw, which is a loud weapon, probably a little bit gaudy and loud for Jigsaw, but
Now Hannibal has an advantage with the fact that he has the scythe, but he has a Charlie Horse.
Right. So I'm starting to get a picture of this.
Okay.
So a camp. Did you guys ever go to a camp?
No, not really. No.
When you were in school?
But I've seen all the Friday the 13th movies.
Right. So you there's like a hut that's got tools in it. Jason uses them to fucking stab people. I think he uses shears and fucking pitchforks and shit from around the camp.
Oh yeah, he's got his machete. He finds spear. I mean, Jason uses all kinds of shit.
There's gonna be a groundskeeper shack that has all that kind of shit in it. Probably a chainsaw if he wanted it, because Camp Crystal Lake is out there where branches are gonna fall. You're gonna need to cut them up. But he's not gonna want a chainsaw. He's not gonna be stupid and give away his stealthy advantage. So I'm going to say that fucking Hannibal Lecter, if we're making the same conceit that they start at opposite ends of camp.
Right. I think when you have a large map like this, you definitely don't want to necessarily put them at, I would say even on the smaller maps, I tend to just, my mind defaults with them at like opposite ends of a place, or at least like a good distance apart. Like
you have to do that for fairness. It's fair to both of them. You know what I mean? And they're equal. Like we just assume they're equidistant from any fucking resource, right?
Sure.
The question is, would these two guys go for the same thing and force a fight? Like, would they make their way to the groundskeeper shack to try and, because like, look, a scythe is not a weapon. It can be used as one, but it's an unwieldy weapon, especially when you got a badass Charlie horse.
Yeah, for like cutting fucking grain and grass and shit.
And you know, a chainsaw is. I mean, in reality, it's not a great weapon. In a horror movie, it is, but it's not really. It's not really Jigsaw's style of weapon either.
So he has to get very close to use
fight. Because like, riddle me this: these guys are both geniuses. They're both gonna. They're not necessarily gonna know the other dude. We can't give them foreknowledge because then they'd have prepared something specially for them or whatever the fuck. So they're just bumping into each other and they got to fight out. So Hannibal is gonna think, this scythe that I have, I mean, if he comes up on me, I'll do my best, but this is a horrible weapon. I'm going to be horrible with it. I need something smaller. I need time to work out this Charlie horse. I'm going to make my way to the groundskeeper's shack. And I think Jigsaw is going to think the same thing. Like, this is a horrible weapon. It gives away my position if I want to make it useful at all. I'm going to make my way to the groundskeeper's shack and find something more suitable as a weapon, which, you know, they get there at the same fucking time, or maybe Jigsaw gets there because he doesn't have a Charlie horse.
Well, remember, Jigsaw has a higher energy level and he doesn't have a Charlie horse. So Jigsaw is probably going to beat Hannibal to the shack.
So Jigsaw beats Hannibal to the shack. Maybe gets a couple of minutes, maybe a minute to rummage through it and find a more suitable weapon. And Hannibal shows up at the same shack with a scythe and a battle ensues outside.
Right. So what does Jigsaw find in that shack?
What's going to be in a Camp Crystal Lake groundskeeper shack? A pitchfork, definitely. Rakes, fucking
there's probably going to be a fucking machete in there because they got it. You know, you cut fucking foliage and trees and shit.
An axe.
Probably be an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a machete. There are going to be knives, box cutters.
There's going to be hammers.
I mean, but none of those are going to.
Any sort of tool
here's the
you
problem
can
with that, though.
much.
Even with a Charlie horse, that Reaper scythe, I mean, that just gives you such a range advantage. I know it's not the best weapon you can find, but that still can hurt you or fuck you up.
Yes, that's true.
So that's what Hannibal's arriving with.
So, I mean, if he's arriving, I mean, none of those weapons we mentioned, if he has them, is going to give him a reach of it. Now, he could throw, if he has an axe or something, he could launch his projectile.
So here's the question is, when Hannibal arrives at the shack, does he know Jigsaw's in there? Like, did he see him go in? Or is Jigsaw catching him unawares? Like, Hannibal goes into the shack like, yes, I will get a weapon, and then Jigsaw just has time to just, garrot him?
With the fact that Hannibal is dragging a Charlie horse leg and working on that, it's going to take him way longer to get to that shack, assuming they're equidistant.
Yeah, which we already allowed.
Which we do. Yeah. And fucking Hannibal, right? He's the one with the Charlie horse.
Yeah,
Jigsaw just did a bunch of coke. He's going to get there way faster. So he's going to Hannibal's not even probably going to see him go in. You'll probably see him as he's coming out, having armed himself. And we'll be stuck with a Charlie horse that we have to assume on his walk. That's how you work out a Charlie horse.
He's probably largely worked it off by this point.
But he's got a scythe, and Jigsaw has had probably 2 or 3 minutes to arm himself for battle. And the battle takes place right outside of that fucking shack. I think Jigsaw wins this. I think that little amount of time prepping himself in that shack and arming himself with a more appropriate weapon lets him find a weapon that works way better against the unwieldy non-weapon that fucking Hannibal has.
Scythe is necessarily unwieldy. I mean, they were used to cut fields and stuff. So I mean, Hannibal has been shown to be very adept with his hands. So how does he kill him? Is he knocked out of his hand? Does he throw some at him? Like, if you're selling that, then I just want to know what is it that defeats it?
You outrange him. You grab a fucking pitchfork or a long fucking hoe or a rake.
I love how I specifically made it where he doesn't have the pitchfork and somehow he still ends up with the fucking pitchfork. I guess.
I mean, whatever.
Jigsaw should have canonically had a pitchfork.
Is he aware of what Hannibal's weapon is? I mean, like how aware are they?
I would say that they come in with, we're assuming very little awareness of each other. They know that each other is out there, but they don't really know necessarily what's each other's.
There needs to be an impetus for him to pick the ranged weapon, is what I'm saying.
Oh, sure. What would stop this? He walks out ready to do battle. He's picked like a smaller short range weapon. He walks out and he sees Hannibal walking up with a scythe. Ducks back in and grabs a fucking pitchfork.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because he knows he's He's clever enough to know that he's going to need range against a weapon like that.
Here's the thing about Jigsaw versus Hannibal. They're both very intelligent, but at the end of the day, one of their intelligence is very different. Hannibal's like, I'm a sophisticate, and I understand fine culinary things, and I understand art, and I understand literature. Jigsaw understands engineering and objects and how to, like, create traps. And I mean, like, I just feel like it's when you put them both in this kind of...
Let's not say that Hannibal Lecter doesn't know how to set traps and bait traps.
No, he does,
and
but
shit.
not the way Jigsaw does, though.
That's what you're saying. Social traps is what he sets.
Right.
Yeah, but Jigsaw's also not going to have enough time to really set any elaborate sort of trap.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, he might be able to come up with something. I mean, I don't know. Jigsaw is pretty fucking clever.
There's all kinds of shit.
Clever, but I mean, maybe he comes up with something primitive or crude. But
well, let's see. How big is Camp Crystal Lake, and how much time are we going to say... You know, like obviously, I mean, like, we got to remember too, Jigsaw is hyper focused and hyper energized from his coke. So,
all right. So let me ask you guys a question, or I guess I'll ask you.
He walked away.
This shack is gonna have a fucking lock on the door, so that kids don't get into it. So let's say that he lets himself into it and locks it. What help is a scythe going to be getting into a fucking locked up place? You know, I mean, he might be able to smash it down, but that's going to give fucking Jigsaw some time once again to cook up a scheme in that fucking closet. And it's more than a closet. This is a big room filled with all kinds of tools.
Well, if we're still in a maintenance closet, there's a lot of shit in there. There's a lot of shit to get into. But is Hannibal going to take the approach of let me bang down this door? I mean, that doesn't really seem like that.
Sure,
that's what he would do.
Just give Jigsaw more time to create some fucking horrifying killing machine there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like he has to know that time is of the essence. Like the more time he gives his prey in that shed with
Hannibal can also maybe Hannibal. It's a camp. There's lanterns. Maybe he lights that place on fire if he locks the door.
So but he'd have to go find a lantern. Right, so he'd have to.
They're going to be around. We're going to be around the camp. It's not going to be. There's going to be fuels of all kinds. It's not going to be difficult to get that building on fire.
So, you know, what we're kind of discounting from the scenario too, though, is Hannibal Lecter's weapon of choice before he really kills you is he gets in your fucking head. So, how much is he? Like, we know Hannibal has amazingly astute powers of observation about human beings and psychology. So, like, how much is he going to be able to just figure out about Jigsaw just by looking at him? And is he going to be able to start whispering poison into this dude's ear and start, you know...
All those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars. All those boys who never had a chance, and all you could do was dream of getting out, getting away, getting far, far away, all the way to the FBI. I don't really think that there's time, dude. He might be able to size him up and say something, but Jigsaw's going to be smart, and he also does that to people.
That's true.
Like, he psychologically manipulates. His whole thing is a combination of physical and psychological torture. You got to cut your own arm off.
But he's he's always had to do
maybe
research
Hannibal's
on his...
better at that.
He's always had to do research on his targets.
Right. It's not going to make a huge difference with the amount of time.
Yeah, Hannibal's got to play more of a long game.
Yeah, it takes time to get in for Hannibal to get in somebody's head. Like, you know, he might be able to say some biting remark that takes him aback, but that's not.
If Hannibal had oh, sorry, Paul, but
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say if there was an edge, like, you know, Hannibal gets a complete psychological profile of Jigsaw beforehand, you know, or something where it's like, okay, he knows how to push all his buttons. Then maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, I can see that.
Right.
I'm thinking,
but I mean, he knows a lot about Clarice Starling without having access to any of that information.
Right. He knows it just by smelling her perfume and some other stuff. I mean, like, he can tell it just by her accent and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, if the Jigsaw Killer, by the way, has any sort of infamy within the context of this universe, Hannibal might not be totally flying blind to this situation. He might know a little something.
Jigsaw comes out with some flame shooting contraption that he's built, right? And he goes, "Time for you to die, asshole." And fucking Hannibal goes, "Ah, yes, that gravelly accent, pure Bostonian. What happened? Was your father a dock worker, boy? Does he stink of the sea?"
You know, something like that.
All you could do as a boy was watch that man come home at night after beating on those docks and beat on your wife, and beat on his wife, your mother, and I suspect you and his siblings. What a complex man it created, didn't it? All those years of planning and plotting, all those fruitless tries, all those failures, it must weigh on a man. A man is driven, like you are, to get away from what he once was and to become something greater. Oh, yes. You know, does he get bludgeoned in that? Or does that...
Yeah, so like the real question is, does Jigsaw go like, oh, shit, he knows something about me? Or like he understands, is Jigsaw like listening to this shit, or is he just like, or like, rah, or whatever he's got,
Right.
Because Jigsaw,
I don't know. I think honestly, he might get a little bit of an advantage, but I think Jigsaw is going to have the weapon advantage here, and that's really what it comes down to. It's like these two dudes are neither one of them are like, they're not known for their prowess in a straight up heads up one-on-one fight, right?
No, neither. Well,
no.
I mean, they both have some skill at that, but
they have acumen, but they're not known for their fighting abilities.
They're probably equal in terms of their ability to defend themselves. I don't think that we can credibly claim that Hannibal has any experience using a scythe.
No, he's not a field worker.
Not that I'm aware of. So if the conceit though is that Jigsaw's gonna have time to rip this up, why is Hannibal just letting Maya burn the cabin down? So it's like, is he able to do that, get that lit on fire?
Scotty, Scotty,
and get out of there.
Sorry, Scotty, I'm
sorry. Hold on, you gotta leave the room and come back. You're roboting.
Okay, no problem.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
And what if Jigsaw had?
So if we're going with Jigsaw, and stop me if you guys disagree, Jigsaw is quicker. I mean, he has that buff. He has, he did 5 lines of coke or whatever. He's fucking Johnny on the spot. He runs that fucking shed. He gets there, let's say 2 minutes before Hannibal, something like that. He has a huge time advantage.
Yes.
He decides the weapon he has, that's not good enough to kill this guy. I'm going to work on this other weapon. Hannibal gets there. The door is locked. He's like, okay, well, fuck this. I'm not going to, here's this guy doing something there. He's like, I don't trust this shit. Why doesn't he just try to burn the place down? But even if he does that, let's say there's a lantern or something even close by. How long is that going to catch fire or not? I mean, it might not even catch fire. Maybe it does.
Yeah, I don't think he has time to set a proper fire. And we don't even know if he has. I mean, let's assume for the sake of argument, there is like some kind of like old lantern with a flame or something nearby. And he sees look, some kerosene or something.
Jigsaw is going to know that time is of the essence here. So he's going to build something quick. And I just kind of assume that they meet as Jigsaw's coming out of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where the fight takes place. Jigsaw has created an improvised weapon that's better than what he had because a chainsaw is just stupid. A scythe is also pretty stupid unless it's in the hands of somebody who really knows how to wield it. And there's like combat scythes, but this isn't one of those. This is like
a Reaper scythe.
Yeah, it's a wheat scythe. So you can do a lot of damage with it, but it's not a weapon that everybody knows how to wield. So he's going to have the advantage. And when it comes to combat prowess, these guys are probably equal. They're both killers if they need to be. They're both brutal. They'll both do it. They both probably can handle themselves better than your average person. I don't see much of a gulf. So really it comes down to weapons.
Yeah, let's remember, though, too, Hannibal is a little bit more adept at hand-to-hand combat than Jigsaw is. Because, he does do more. He's more up close and personal with his killings, whereas Jigsaw tends to like to put people in elaborate traps. Now he's been shown to have an aptitude for it.
Backs in vital organs that isn't going to taint the meat and shit. He's not like a Jeet Kune Do expert or anything.
No,
but he's just vicious and he knows anatomy, so he would know how to
human anatomy.
Yeah, I mean, we just think about him killing those guards at the end of
I mean, to me, it's like you say weapons, but what weapon, if we assume it's going to take, like you said, 5 minutes, like what weapon is he going to have? Is he going to have something that's going to explode
about 2 minutes.
Or something?
He could, that's the fucked up
thing. Just gonna...
The fucked up thing with Jigsaw is that anything that we think of, he's probably going to be cleverer. So we know the shit that's going to be in the shed, gasoline.
I mean, part of the problem with trying to figure out a fight like this, honestly, is that we're 3 idiots trying to figure out how 2 super geniuses, smarter than any human being that's ever lived, would fight each other.
That's why I'm assuming that Jigsaw walks out of that thing with a really great weapon for him. because that's all we can say. I don't know what it is, because like he has access to such a plethora of shit in that shed, and he's got time, and he's snorted a bunch of coke, so he's extra focused, so he's going to do it even faster than he normally would.
Yeah, I mean,
he walks out of the shed with some crazy fucking thing that's like really lightweight and easy for him to fucking maneuver. And Anthony Hopkins is fucking struggling with that scythe, trying to do these big, wide.
I gotta say, I feel like the Charlie horse fucking killed Hannibal, because if they'd arrived at that shed at the same time and it was just scythe versus chainsaw, Hannibal versus Jigsaw, I think Hannibal would have just put the fucking scythe through his ass, and that'd have been it.
Yeah, the Charlie horse for sure. I mean, hey, dude, that's why
the Charlie horse really did him in. But yeah, I mean, I still feel like I don't know, but I guess I'm willing to fucking concede and say that Jigsaw.
Well, what is your reluctance? Because to me, Jigsaw is like an evil MacGyver.
Yeah,
I just don't know if that's. I mean, even with all that knowledge in the buff, I don't know if he really concoct something that great in that much time. And I think if that doesn't go 100% according to plan, I mean, it's a weapon it can be replicated over and over again. If the first one doesn't kill Hannibal,
but let's So like,
hold on real quick. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that he walks out of there with like a cyber rifle or some shit, right? I'm saying he walks out of there with a really good weapon, because he's smart. He knows his limitations, so he's gonna put together, using the buff extra fast, something that's lightweight, maneuverable, has the range and close range option. He's gonna figure something out, whip it together, and walk out there with a really good all-around weapon for him. And Hannibal doesn't have that. Hannibal has a big, giant scythe that he can swing in a very
I guess to put it in that terms, you're just saying like matching the weapon to weapon. He just has a better weapon, so you think ultimately just coming down to that, which we've said before. Yeah, okay, I guess I see what you're saying. I mean, it's not out of the realm that Hannibal can win, but if we run like 100 times, it's more likely Jigsaw is going to win.
And he only has that because fucking Hannibal started this with a Charlie horse, and it took him 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes longer to work that out and get to that shed than it took Jigsaw, who was super buffed up. And extra.
Based on that, then I'm more comfortable saying that, talking through that, because I can kind of see what you're saying.
All right,
cool.
Let's go ahead and go with the conceit that the Jigsaw killer prevails in this scenario.
Fucking Hannibal go out of this. Honestly, he's like one of my favorite villains.
Oh, I know. I mean, I definitely wasn't based on that. I mean, I love all these characters.
Dude, Hannibal Lecter is a way cooler character than Jigsaw. But Jigsaw is, I mean, like, I tried to avoid characters that were super powerful on here, but the more I think about who Jigsaw really is as a character, like, his intelligence is pretty much supernatural. Like, the stuff the stuff that's attributed to him in those movies is beyond the capability of any human being.
But we know now too. I mean, if they can do a dive bar with these two, I mean, it's done. You know, unless the weapon just sucks for Michael Myers.
All right, so this is another situation. This is another situation. It could come down to the roles. Jigsaw's main strength, the reason he's gotten this far, I think, is because there's always been something that's allowed him an opportunity to prepare something, to cook something up. But can he cook something up against Michael Myers? Who I mean, when I made this list, I looked at this and I said to myself, Michael Myers is probably going to come out on top of this. Because he's fucking Michael Myers. Yeah. And let's remember, he has to beat Michael Myers twice to win this, because this is double elimination. So let's see how it goes. Where are they going to fight? A secret government facility.
Oh, shit.
Interesting. So I was thinking like Area 51 style shit. So, but we're going to have to really argue about what that government's, maybe
super weapons, fucking crazy alien beasts in captivity that could be released. I mean,
let's see what, so Michael Myers, does Michael Myers get an edge? No, he gets a handicap. What is his handicap? Ooh. Becomes morally conflicted about killing after watching Cronenberg's A History of Violence.
What?
Okay. Kind of a silly joke one, but hey, we're going with it.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And he gets a machete, which is, pretty normal for him. Well, more normal for Jason, but, Michael can definitely use it as well.
Does the embodiment of pure evil even have the capacity to become morally conflicted?
No, he sure doesn't.
Yeah.
We're going with it.
That'll factor into it, but whatever.
Nonetheless, somehow it's happened.
It happened.
Jigsaw gets an edge. What's his edge going to be? Brainwash TJ assists him. Okay, well,
not
that's
much
already
of an
happened.
edge.
That's not much of an edge, really, because once again, Michael Myers is just going to dispense with me in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's
tops,
not gonna.
Yeah, we already know that. And what's he get? A karambit? It's not a great weapon for him against Michael Myers.
What is that? What's a karambit?
You don't know? Okay, hold on. I'll show you.
Sorry. Yeah, never heard of it. You'll know it if I see it.
Oh, it's a really small.
It's a small claw-like knife.
I call those a carabiner or whatever the fuck. Or yeah, all right. Yeah, those were called carabine, whatever. Carabiners.
I have no idea. All right, so a morally conflicted Michael Myers, which that actually has canonically happened before. Michael Myers, before he had an opportunity to kill his niece in part 5, I believe, and she asked if she can see his face first, and then he shows her his face, and a single tear runs down Michael Myers' face. Now, I think that it happens to be a terrible moment for the character and a misunderstanding of what he's about, but canonically it did happen. So, sure, depends on the canon you're going with, because that movie, that's a messed up series at this point. But there is some precedent for it, I guess. Morally conflicted Michael Myers with a machete, Jigsaw with a karambit, and what was his buff again?
I can't remember.
Oh, my stupid me assisting him.
Oh, dumbass you.
Yeah, he has dumbass TJ.
Jigsaw is going to be able to use you to your maximum potential.
Yeah, so Jigsaw will actually probably utilize me more cleverly than Michael Myers did when I was his slave.
So where's this happening again?
A secret government facility.
All right, so I've already got an idea here. Michael Myers is going to know how to use like the blunt weapons and the sharp things that he finds in the government facility, of which we have to imagine are plentiful and many. Sure. He's going to have his choice of really any weapon that he wants. He doesn't have to keep his machete, but he probably will because it's perfect for him.
Yeah, he loves the stabbing weapon.
And, he's more about stalking people once he's got a weapon. So he's not really one to like look to improvise weapons like, oh, my machete's bad. He just wants to stalk this guy and get it over with, unless I'm misunderstanding Michael Myers.
I don't feel like you are.
On the flip side, Jigsaw is going to have access as a super fucking genius engineer and scientist and manufacturer of intricate fucking machines, is going to have access to all of the government secrets that are stored in Area 51, all the laser pulse shit, all the fucking fire rifles and the crazy fucking futuristic rail rifles.
And not only that,
so I can see here that
while he's doing that,
infiltrates Area 51.
Yes, that's what I imagined when I fucking put that on the list.
So he has access to all this stuff. Well, fair enough.
I'm assuming too that Jigsaw is going to use me a lot better than Michael Myers did, where it's just like, go after a clown. He's probably going to be like, all right, you're going to lead this motherfucker on a wild goose chase and let me fucking prepare some shit.
Right. And then by
he's probably going to have me go around and be like, Michael Myers, you can't get me. Ha 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 ha. And then by the time, he's instead of me just like going at him, which is stupid as fuck, I'm probably going to be like leading him on a wild goose chase around this crazy facility. It's going to take him a while to catch up to me and kill me. Obviously, he will eventually succeed in doing it. But by that time, what the fuck? We've gone so far with the conceit that Jigsaw is going to like create shit out of like cafeteria supply. I mean, like, we're giving him access to Area 51. I mean, we gotta say he wins this, right?
He fucking fashions or finds some fucking high tech alien technology or whatever the fuck. He has a plasma rifle. It doesn't matter if he has a facility like that. You have to assume he can build some crazy ass shit that's gonna kill Michael Myers.
He just has the ability to assess and fire and use these weapons that a normal person would look at and go, "What even into this works?" And how do you even? He would be able to see, it does this. It's a plasma. It's this, blah, blah, blah.
So if we're going to give him the conceit that he fucking cooks up shit with the limited stuff we gave him before, we got to say he's going to win with a fucking goddamn government arsenal at his back.
I mean, maybe you feel like we gave him something there. I don't. I think the movie...
I'm just saying that, like, based on our previous decisions, we'd have to be idiots to say he's not going to fucking cook something up in a goddamn top secret government lab.
Yeah, he has no idea and lays down and dies. Like,
but this is a double elimination tournament, so Jigsaw's got to beat Michael Myers twice. So let's see if the rolls are as favorable this time around.
Oh boy,
Paul's apartment definitely more favoring Michael with that.
Yikes.
What does okay, so wait, Michael Myers is first. So what does Michael get? A handicap. Oh, that's edge. Sorry. Distracted by chick with huge tits. Okay.
Well, it's a distraction.
And what weapon does he get? Oh, a chainsaw. Okay.
Damn.
Oh fuck.
All right.
This is not.
So let's see. Let's see what Jigsaw gets now. Handicap or edge. Okay, he gets an edge, so maybe there still might be hope. Intelligence plus that's not really going to help you too much in this scenario.
That's not a huge boost for him.
What does he get? The hammer and sickle. Not much help there for a guy like Jigsaw. So in Paul's apartment, and assuming there's a magical boundary that says they can't surpass it, there's just, I mean, Michael Myers is going to be as distracted by a chick with huge tits for about 3 seconds before he fucking kills her. Maybe it'll be a quick flashback of his sister. Maybe gives Jigsaw a little time, but not enough to cook anything up. I think that this time around,
I have a kitchen that has knives and shit in it. I mean, look, I can give you the whole fucking layout of my pad.
I know the layout of your pads.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much of a path for Jigsaw to win this one. It's too close quarters. I mean, a knife and stuff, that's great, but that's not versus a chainsaw wielded by Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, one of the most powerful fucking slashers of all time, with a chainsaw in an enclosed space. I mean, he might be mildly like, ooh, tits, but then he's going to fucking go kill Jigsaw. I mean, I just don't.
A normal dude with a chainsaw would probably kill Jigsaw in this apartment. Like, there's just there's nothing here for him. Like, I don't got, he's not going to get, if I do have a weapon, he ain't going to find it in time. And he's not going to be able to put a door between him and fucking Michael Myers at all. He's got a chainsaw. It's over.
I feel like,
gotta call it.
And so, I think that is the final battle.
That's it. Michael Myers is
the winner.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, there's no. There's no more.
You have to. Oh, okay, then you're right. I'm wrong. I'm thinking of it.
There's just nowhere else for it to go.
I don't know why
Michael Myers won, and he has to win 2 to win.
Yeah, everybody has to be beaten twice to lose.
Because Michael Myers is in a better position.
Michael Myers is the only one who hasn't lost. I don't know why it doesn't just put the thing there.
It's only the dude that comes from the losers bracket that has to get 2 wins.
Right.
Yes.
The guy in the winners bracket only has to get 1 win and it's over.
Which he did.
Exactly.
The guy in the losers bracket has to get 2 wins and it's over.
Yep. Right. Essentially, he had to win the second time to win the tournament.
Right. Yeah. And so he
gets
lost.
Confusing.
Michael Myers won the second bout, and so Michael Myers is the one that will be, I guess, facing off against the heavyweights.
Yes. So Michael Myers moves on. Now he doesn't have to fight again until the end. We're gonna fucking put the winner of the B bracket against the winner of the A bracket.
Yeah, Michael. Michael has slogged through a number of opponents. He gets a break.
So
he did some and some hard opponents too. Jigsaw was really a fucking killer in this competition.
I thought Jigsaw was gonna win it all, honestly. But it was like, I knew it was the last locational roll, and just your apartment. If we're saying there's an invisible barrier they can't go out of, there's no door, there's chainsaw. It's just there's too many things stacked in his favor. It's gotta be Michael Myers to win it all. And then
balcony,
join us.
There's nothing. He's done.
Shit. Yeah, he's
absolutely. So he's done. Michael Myers is our winner. Thank you to Chucky and Ghostface and Jack Torrance and Hannibal Lecter and Jigsaw and Leatherface for competing. Fuck you to the coin. You were a joke. You were never supposed to.
We're gonna thank
you. Were never supposed to do anything in this. But thank you to all of our participants for competing. But Michael Myers has bested you all, and he goes on to face the winner of the A bracket, where we're gonna look at the real heavy hitters of the horror world. See you next time for that.
Next time.
Before you go, I want to tell everybody something about this battle that happened, this final.
Mm-hmm.
if Jigsaw started at one end of the house and Michael started at the other, let's say Michael came in my front door, Jigsaw might end up in the cat room, which is literally filled with shredded paper and cardboard that Cricket loves to fucking chew up and shred up and roll around in. And that would be what he had to concoct a device with for maybe 1.5 seconds as Michael Myers sawed through a woman and then sawed through the door and killed him. So to anyone that says we're unfair with this, that we were not.
Yeah, Paul's
well, also the chainsaw,
hey.
like even if you had a locked door, the conceit with all the other ones was it would take this person a long time to break it down. Like Michael Myers is breaking down that fucking door.
Michael Myers is ripping through that door like wet toilet paper, chainsaw or no. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time to see part 2 of the Tournament of Terror.
Hi, everybody.
Deep bad fight. Deep bad fight. Deep bad fight. Deep bad fight.